Like it's not an answer to the Pangolier. It's more like these two heroes work well together.
But we saw yesterday when Flight to Moon was picking Pangolier, I think the team they're playing against, they picked Beastmaster, Grimstrike. They tried to focus on the Pangolier so much that it unlocked the rest of the draft for HellRaisers. And we've seen time and time again, HellRaisers, they've picked these early picks, be it the Weaver, DP, Pangolier, and then if you hard counter it, they just flex it down the support chain, right, down the rolls. So you can't really react too much, and that's why VP.Prodigy, they go for a very stable opening, which is like, cool, you know that we have a Mars offlane, we've got a Witch Doctor 5. We don't care because we know that our draft will end up just being a well-rounded draft. For example, like the Liquid draft, right? You saw they had physical damage, magic damage, wave clear, pushing. Like, if you just have a draft that ticks all the boxes, you're not punished by flexibility because you just know that your draft eventually will just be stronger. Meanwhile, HellRaisers, they're like, well, you know what we need to do? Flex our way to the end, boys. So that's what they're currently keeping up.
But we also have two heroes that can escape the arena.
Yep.
Multiple ways, right? Both of them have 2 spells that they can run out of it. We also now have the Void Spirit who can find the Witch Doctor. They're both pretty mobile, so the cask shouldn't pose much of a threat to them unless they really mess up their positioning. So to me, HellRaisers, this is a solid answer to the VP.Prodigy, and I get your point about the solid draft. But still, seeing how HellRaisers have been playing, I'd say that right now, even in the first phase, they have an edge in this draft, which is fine. They have the first pick overall.
Yes.
Yeah, so right now, HellRaisers just in that elusive kind of pool of heroes. Usually the concern we see is that maybe some of these maybe less experienced teams of the HellRaisers have got too many mobile heroes, and then the supports usually get sniped out in the back. So if you're VP.Prodigy, do you go for a bit more catch, maybe?
They've already kind of covered that with the fact they have Mars. That kind of unlocks that part of the draft. The main thing in this is just making sure you don't fall into the trap of trying to
counter
into,
like we said. Yeah.
Like, again, VP, they're just sticking to their guns. They're just going for a well-rounded draft. You now have the Mars Willow combo. It's like, cool, we don't care if your Void Spirit's now 5 or it's some offlane or whatever, because our lanes are going to be strong. Witch Doctor, strong laner with pretty much most carries. Mars Willow is a formidable offlane. Like, it is literally the counter to flexing is just having strong side lanes and then abusing the fact that you have last pick and then having that mid matchup. Again, maybe at last pick, depending on how flexible HellRaisers are, you have to then go, okay, so what is their mid hero? They might actually leave it quite open, but normally you can kind of predict that with HellRaisers because their flexibility, it exists within 3, 4, and 5, not often into that 2 role, unless maybe it's the DP.
Is Oracle in the pool? I think that Oracle just destroys these 3 heroes, right? You don't do damage with these 3 heroes if you're up against an Oracle. Plus, it's a nice save for these mobile heroes if they get caught. I would imagine Shadow Demon is banned, right?
No, there's Oracle. Good shout.
Okay, got it. I think this hero is it's over 20 games played now. It has got, I think, only about 40% win rate so far, though.
It was picked in the first phase. Like we also say, Kotl is having 35% or something low, but he has been first picked every time.
Definitely.
That's also a factor you have to get in. So you're always trying to adjust to this incredibly strong hero in the meta.
Do you like the idea of something like a Troll Warlord next for HellRaisers? Because it's the classic combo that comes to mind, right, whenever you think Oracle.
Again, it's very, when you're in this first pick situation, you just react, right? So depending on what the core is from VP, they have to reveal a mid or their carry right now. So depending on what that is, then you'll be able to hard counter it. Again, they're in the position, knowing VP, they might just go for a casual Razor or something along those lines, flex it between the 2 lanes. They've shown that they play it before, and it covers them from the potential troll if they are scared about it. Again, I don't know if you're too scared of a troll, because you do have a lot of ways to annoy him. You've got the Willow and the Mars. It's a pretty strong lane to deal with him. And even throughout the game, you have a lot of kite potential. And he goes for an early BKB, and get to the important part of the game. You suddenly have a 5-second BKB at the critical stage of the game. So
I agree with you on that. The point is, when I see an Oracle, the way I love to play it is that I have a hero that stands in front, hits, and you are baiting them to come at you. So in that regard, Troll would seem like a solid pick.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I would like to see them pick a flexible hero here, just to abuse the last pick mechanic. They've often, VP have shown that they don't really care too much about certain matchups. They'll prefer just to have that last gotcha pick. But
so, do you think, would you like to see the Razor you mentioned earlier in that regard, or do you think it just kind of leaves you a bit?
I think Razor could be fine. It does put them in a difficult spot. Okay, they just go for a slot. Okay.
It's not bad, right? Because you have Void Spirit and Pango. Pango in the lane is not going to do too well against the Slark. You have Witch Doctor as well, so you can be aggressive with these heroes. It's not the worst Slark pick. The thing that scares me is that you can pick like a position 4, something that can pull the waves or be annoying to you.
Yeah, I see it right now where you just put the obviously Oracles being your 5, you then put the Pangolier as your offlane with the Void Spirit, and you just pick up a really aggressive hero. There you go, Leshrac, sure, but the Slark, it's kind of comforted or cushioned by the fact that you have a lot of team fight, a lot of ways to keep people in place, so it makes the Slark game strong. But my issue is simply the supports or the heroes enabling the Slark are built around timings. So you have Willow on a timer, Mars on a timer in terms of their arena, their cooldown. So HellRaisers, they have nothing, right? They're going to fight you, they're going to pressure you, and they have ability to take tower with the Leshrac. It's going to be very scary to play against. And I think this is most likely now going to be a Funnic offlane Lesh with Pangolier 4. Void Spirit most likely going to be mid, and then they're going to just pick up their carry last.
Do you think this maybe gives VP.Prodigy a very clear target in these fights now, though? Because we said about the elusiveness of the first 2 picks on HellRaisers, but Leshrac...
Yes, it does, but they don't have a lineup that actually goes into one target, and they're playing against an Oracle, right? You have 2 mobile heroes, and you have, let's say, a Lesh if he's somewhat farmed that's standing in front, so you know that you're going to false promise him, thus you don't want to really initiate on him. He's going to do a ton of damage. There's no those 7, 8, or 9 seconds, so... To me, the HellRaisers draft just looks awesome, and what DGov said, they still have the options of flexing all of their heroes wherever they want and laning however they want this.
Yeah, I like the idea of like just a casual Void or something for HellRaisers. You'd be able to match a team fight. You always have a way to kill the Slark if the game gets a little bit dicey. And also your lane, you don't really care too much about the Mars Willow. Because you have Time Walk, sure, it might be a little bit annoying, but of course you have the Oracle there as well. So I think Void just could really own this draft for these guys. The only issue there is you might be open to any active type mid, just chucking like a cheeky Pugna on the side of Prodigy, and then suddenly you can't really defend towers too well because your Void's trying to farm. But the 2 options they have pretty much is either A, try and punish the Slark early on because their draft is pretty slow for Prodigy, or B, just secure your late game with a big win condition and then play around the 4 protect 1 type strat that we saw OG unfortunately not pull off yesterday.
I can see the Void, but like, do you really need the Void? You have this fast lineup. You can push the towers. I guess the Void is like your safety.
They could just go Ricky as well.
Ricky's banned.
Is it banned? Where is it banned? It's banned.
Yeah.
I just didn't see him, mate. I do apologize.
That's okay.
I like that idea that like maybe HellRaisers just lean their strength and play faster, right? Because they've proven that they are able to close games quickly. If they're doing that, what are they looking at instead of something like a Faceless Void?
Maybe like DK?
DK, yeah. We've seen it played in every core position now.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, their draft is way too flexible. Maybe an Illusion hero. If they really want to go late game, we saw PL banned. If you go for a Naga in the late game, it just rips through all of these heroes. Doesn't care.
True.
Also can reset the fight if your Oracle gets gone on. If you see that they use the arena, you use the ulti, everything goes fine.
They want to go faster.
Okay.
Picking up the monkey.
It boils down to now they can have Monkey in mid or safe lane. They can have Leshrac in mid or off lane. Void can be in... the HellRaisers have put themselves in a position where it's so hard to pick that gotcha mid pick because they have such flexibility. And Quap is pretty much a very solid answer because it's a very long laner, very strong laner. It's able to pretty much just do work in most lanes. It gives you that kind of active timing in which your Slark is going to be a little bit more passive because you need the diffusal. My only concern is still the fact that you are very much built around your cooldowns. You have Arena, the Fear, the Quap ult. Like, there's so many ways in which Slark can't really fight, and if you waste one spell, Slark's on the back foot, HellRaisers might be able to take over your jungle. So I'm just concerned. I think HellRaisers are taking this first game with their ability to non-stop fight and pressure.
I also think HellRaisers are taking this. I like the Queen, but the problem is Void Spirit is a solid laner against it. And they have Queen and these 2 squishy supports, which he's going to destroy. They don't deal with the Pango. They don't deal with the Void Spirit. Those were the 2 first picks, and you didn't address them.
I think the last another point is unfortunately for Prodigy, they don't really have a lot of ways to keep their backlines alive. You have this Pangolier, he just cuts through, suddenly Monkey King jump in the backlines, your supports are dead, your Slark and Mars are at the front of the fight, Quap may be there as well. Like, it's very hard for Prodigy, outside of maybe a smoke gank or holding a high ground area, to really keep a nice formation in a fight.
Yeah, they need a snowball type game where they're just running around and going for the backline of HellRaisers, which, from our experience in this tournament, HellRaisers are probably not going to allow, and they're going to play their game.
Well, according to the panel, it seems like the prodigal sons of VP need to return to the draft and think this one over again. They do not have the faith in VP.Prodigy to close this one out. We'll see if our commentary duo have a conflicting opinion, though. We've got Sunsfan and Syndrome ready to take this one away.
Cinderman, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Great. Hello. How are you?
Sound like you're stuck in a cave and you need help or something.
What? Is my mic bad or something? What are you talking about?
Are you there?
Are you there? Hello? Are you there?
Yes.
I've fallen and I can't get up, Cinder. Please
Yes,
help
okay.
me.
I understood that reference. Yeah, so I mean, let's talk a little bit about what the panel thinks about this draft. So, first of all, going into this league, almost, I would say that we, at least, I think we talked about it a little bit. We thought VP were probably the biggest dog in CIS right now, and then we both had quite a lot of faith in VP.Prodigy to maybe be the new second best team. But guess who's on top of the group right now? It's HellRaisers with 4-0 and Na'Vi with 4-1. The two VP squads are 1-2 and 1-1 respectively. So obviously they can catch up Prodigy, but they're going to need to beat some strong teams on the way. HellRaisers look like the team to beat right now in this region. And this draft is really good. I think the panel pointed out tons of good stuff. I pretty much agree with absolutely everything. And I see the same problems for Prodigy. So I think if you want to win this game, you need to get the ball rolling really quickly with your Quap and your Slark before it gets too complicated to play fights.
And the last time that we cast VPP, DM was playing Mars in game 1, and he absolutely destroyed. And then after that, he did not play it, and they didn't find nearly the same type of success. So
their drafts changed a lot in that series. I'm trying to remember who they played against, because the first game they looked very comfortable and confident, and the next games it just got. I think it was Fly to Moon they faced in that series. I want to say
possibly
trying to find it here. Yeah, Fly to Moon 2-1 them. The first draft from VP Polar, yeah, that's a blast from the past. From Prodigy was Mars, Phoenix, Disruptor, Troll, DP. So somewhat in the same vein, you know, you have this int mid hero, you have the Mars with a team fight support. This time it's the Willow instead of the Phoenix. The carrier for Epileptic Kid, a melee agility hero, Slark instead of Troll. I'm not saying these heroes are the same, but there's clearly some sort of a recipe here. That they like. So this should be comfortable for them, but I just really love HellRaisers draft. I think it's got so many things going for it, and it looks like they're getting the lanes they want as well. So they're trying to get Monkey King to face up against the Slark, which they have accomplished already. And Void Spirit can kind of lane against almost anything, actually, in this game. I don't think he has a matchup he can't play. So he's going to be starting top against, double TP immediately from VPP.
Double TP, so it's going to be a try at least to start. We'll see if it ends up being that way. Cask will be on top of Mposhka, who is now at half health, but actually the courier is going to be taken out by Roger, who just randomly in the back there. It's not what they were expecting. Epileptic Kid now has some support here to help him out. So if this try continues, which one do you like more?
I think right now the Radiant one.
Cask. Yeah, the
Monkey King
stacking up.
Monkey King is so weak level 1. It's such a weak hero. But as soon as he gets level 2 and especially level 3, this lane gets like twice as strong. You really need the Jingu plus the Boundless combination. Currently, obviously, only has the Boundless. I think he used it to secure last hit on a range creep. But the wild card in this lane is the fact that the Dire are playing the tri-lane aggressively. And when you're playing an aggro tri-lane, you have the opportunity of courier sniping. And you already saw Roger get one. If he could somehow get another one, that's really good damage. He does have this ward sneakily between the two towers, and you see Slark setting it above. If he knows, he could go to the right. Oh, he might actually find Slark's. If he kept going in his trajectory there, he would have got it.
He's thinking about it. He's got the salve going right now. Courier will be successful in delivering items. That's what it was born to do and dies to do. This one's a little hasty, but
He
Looks like
might
with
cut
Roger.
through here.
He does
for
have
this
Swash.
One. He stole that
Yeah,
one.
he could use Swash to catch up here. Not sure if he can get the farther one, but this one looks like a freebie, the Dark Willow Courier. Oh. Whoa, he juked himself. Goodness. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I mean, on the list of things to get outplayed by, I think a courier is not very high on the list of stuff you want to be outplayed by. A ground courier with
First
300.
blood was mid. We'll talk about the mid matchup in just a bit, but in the bottom lane, we're going to have the Boundless Strike, and the last right click will be enough to drop the Witch Doctor. So it's a 2-0 advantage for HellRaisers very early. But yeah, Leshrac versus Queen of Pain. Obviously, Leshrac got the first blood. Is
Yeah.
that how it should go?
I don't. Part of me wants to say that this lane is kind of a draw, but I actually think the more I think about it, Leshrac is slightly favored, but probably not by like a landslide. And Quap should absolutely not die like this. If you lose this lane as Quap, you might get outfarmed a little bit. It's hard for you to use Shadow Strike because Leshrac can always turn and fight you with a stun plus lightning. And FN, by maxing out the Shadow Strike, clearly is showing the desire to play the lane aggressively. But if you get killed off once or twice here as Quap, your lane is rough. Leshrac already with a big advantage. Getting into the
With all
bottle.
this movement, nope. Looks like we are going to see Fortune's End connect onto save in the bot lane into a Swashbuckle as well. But of course, Cast is available. See how the balances go with the Maledict on top. But the Dark Willow will be the first to fall. Roger will trade his life. As Leshrac, again, extremely low in this mid lane. Deniable for now. But back to the bot lane. Epileptic getting whacked in the face by Nyx. And this is the level you were talking about, Cinder. And this is where Monkey King ends up... I mean, it is a try-v-try, so anything can happen. But versus melee heroes, kind of the bane of their existence in a lot of ways. I mean, he's basically ranged. Let's not kid ourselves with the melee benefits.
Yeah. And
Aren't there range heroes with less range than him? Venge to start
TA?
the game? Yep, TA is worse than a melee almost, it feels like.
important thing just happened in mid, by the way. It was a 50-50. Leshrac went for the top rune and it spawned bot, and because of that, Quap was able to force him back to base by just blink shadow striking, and he had to TP out. So FN is coming back in the mid lane by getting a free wave from this. But now that Lesh shows up again and FN never went to get the rune, this Lesh will now have an Invest in his bottle. Might want to try to make an aggressive play onto FN at some point. Just some extra harass. He's holding on to the rune for now, though, but...
Yeah, I mean, looking at the
important.
levels, Quap is ahead now, despite dying. In terms of the actual net worth, still a little bit behind.
Yeah.
So not a
But
lot.
you recovered, which is important.
Yes, for sure. The 50-50 recovery, you gotta love it. That's the most tilting thing in the game, probably.
Oh, save is in
bot
trouble.
lane. Yeah. Swashbuckle will actually miss mostly, but they do have the damage, it looks like. Another cast coming out, but enough space was made for Monkey King to be able to take him out with that fat stick of his.
And he's strong
That is
now.
not a
He's,
euphemism.
he's hit that level 3. He's almost level 4. So probably going to go 2 in Boundless on level 4. And you got to watch out if you're Slark. This hero is very much based on... I think we've talked about this before, right? Like Equilibrium heroes, where you want to tank some, but not too much. And you always want to like try to trade in with Essence Shift and gain something and reset and re-go. When you're playing against a hero that has this huge kind of burst that Monkey King does, it's way harder to find that balance in the lane. Like, it will always be difficult for Slark to play aggressively into spell burst lanes, and you've got a Monkey King and an Oracle here. On top of that, there's a level 2 Swashbuckle. The burst is actually pretty serious in this lane. You need to be very careful how you approach.
Is there any opportunity for different... Like, how long is this tri lane going to stay intact? As Nyx, looks like he'll get stunned here from the Dark Willow, but no follow-up incoming. Because you have DM and Funnick top just trading away here. Both pretty happy overall. Both top of the net worth, in fact.
I think the most likely thing to happen is that the Quap will rotate bot before Lash. I think that's what they're looking for. FN's actually going back to base now to refill bottles, so I think a TP bot into a 4v3 is a really good move. Although, they might get Nyx here.
Ooh, yeah, he's at half health. Maledict is applied. He can heal up with that Jingu, though. Epileptic Kid is getting very low, and they'll find the trade. Unfortunately, the Slark not able to get the XP for himself, though, as Dark Willow will attempt to get out here, but Roger with the Swashbuckle and Miposhka again with the Fortune's End. and that'll be enough. There's TP support here. FN has the Sonic Wave available, will expend it, and ends up getting a double kill as a result. So great rotation, and you basically called it, Syndrin.
And the big play here is that the Leshrac is not mid at the same time. Because if Lesh is mid here, this tower is in trouble. He has level 2 Edict, but Kazani was farming jungle. If he's pressuring the lane instead, this move from FN feels a lot worse. And the Slark TPing mid would be kind of just getting toasted next to the tower by the Lesh. So it works out all right for Prodigy in the end there. Yeah, the Slark doesn't get the kill, but at least Quap makes a very needed rotation here. And it's just more natural for her than for the Leshrac to make this move right now. That's why I think it's expected that the Lesh is not part of this play bot, and he should maybe be a little bit less greedy by jungling there. I would have loved to see him land in this moment, but it's still good.
Yeah. Well, Epileptic Kid did go mid temporarily to get a little bit of XP as Kasani. Looks like he'll get stunned here into the Bramble as well. Poshka tried to dispel there, but
Just barely late.
it's going to be good to go. But yeah, Epileptic Kid went mid and then immediately followed up with Nyx on the Monkey King going mid. So now Epileptic Kid back to bottom.
Yeah.
It's just the musical chairs of lanes.
Definitely doesn't want to lane against the monkey. But now let's see if Nyx tries something here. They could stun into stun. There's no vision for
back
FN.
into nothing as Lesh is not
They
there.
didn't want to try it. They're sending Lesh bot to pressure the Slark. I like that too.
Top lane
no,
though.
it's just
Funny,
jumbling again.
looks, ooh, the spear completely whiffs there. We'll have a Cursed Crown, but I'm actually surprised they didn't just set it up that way. Cursed Crown into the spear.
It's too hard against Void Spirit, right? He has 2 escapes. The Cursed Crown is
Did
never
he
gonna
actually
hit.
level? Oh, he did level.
He has a point to simulate, yeah. So yeah, I don't think, yeah. I don't think they kill him if they hit anyway. Like this kill is not possible for their 2 heroes right now. He has 1k HP and a raindrop and 15 1 charges. He's not gonna die.
Nyx is back in the bot lane. It's almost like a tri lane again at the 9.5 minute mark. We're gonna have some TPs here. It looks like it's just save, so see if they can find Roger. He is in the trees. He's level 4 on the Pango. Is juking without knowing he's juking.
This move from FN needs to work. He's spending a lot of
Nyx.
time on this.
Oh, the
It's
missed pounce and the cast look like they're going to be wasted. Swashbuckle only onto 1, Maledict only onto 1, but they'll find the Witch Doctor quite easily. And yeah, that was a little unfortunate on the VPP side.
And their mid tower's dead.
Yep, you
So
talked
this time
about-
around, the Quap rotation costs. That's why I was like, this has to work. He's spending so much time bot that they're opening up mid. Phonic will be fine for now.
Sonic Wave is available here. Monkey King does not have ult, still level 5 right now. He's going to get the... Oh, the Mars actually TP'd in, gets the Mars ult off. Darkwood's going to be the first to fall, though. Nyx, in the meantime, gets taken
good,
out by
less
that
stun.
Sonic Wave. Kisani is here with his ult activated. Epileptic Kid pops his, attempting to get out of dodge. Will get rooted in place. They will find the Leshrac, a really big kill for VPP. And FN actually lives through that engagement, so a 2 for 2, but definitely in favor of VPP.
Yeah, not bad from them. Taking advantage of the fact that, you know, they have a little bit of a stronger timing right now with Oracle not being level 6 and Pango not being 6 yet. Just when the cores rotate in and you isolate the Leshrac before the save is online, it's such a key kill for them to get the Lesh as well as the Monkey as early as they do in the fight before they start really ramping up. Next time, it's going to be a lot harder. The Oracle's going to hit 6 probably, Pango as well. And that's the true test for their lineup. Like, how are you going to execute the fights when your Slark is pretty poorly farmed? Let's be honest, like, he's not even close to a Diffusal Blade at this point.
So we're
How will
working
he
on
handle
some
this ball?
Wraith Bands, although I don't know if he even finishes that, considering he has 900 gold right now.
Yeah, I think he should go... Maybe just keep one and go straight for Diffusal. Would be good.
Nope,
Looks like he's
Phonic.
just considering the options.
No, he'll be good. Yeah, Phonic doing a really good job in terms of farm. Pretty much tied, as we talked about, with DM on the Mars. So both of them having pretty good games overall. I mean, they're the off lanes,
Kasani
but
farming a
they have
fat
position
stack.
1 farm right now. Oh, the
Yeah.
spear will connect onto Roger. And that is going to be more than enough to just
Pop.
chop him down.
It's good. It's a kill. Slarg was not involved though, so no permanent agility, and they don't get any objective damage out of it. So it's like you know, it feels nice to kill an enemy hero like that, but it's a low net worth hero, and you're not getting anything bigger, and you're giving information away. Every time you gank a hero like this with 3 heroes, it shows the enemy team a lot. You always need to consider that you're paying in information every time you get a kill, right? It gives safety to the Leshrac. It gives safety to the Monkey King where they are. They know, okay, these heroes are top, so we can do this much. I just gotta say, man, Kazani is farming so much. They're not really stopping him whatsoever. And this is a pretty damn good Leshrac game, I gotta say. So that's a bit concerning. He's not being countered whatsoever.
Yep, has his Yules. We'll be going Kaya next. On the other side, though, FN is still working on his. He's actually just going straight up Orchid as first item. Nothing in between.
I think they've identified that the way they need to play fights in this game is that they need a way to get on top of the backline.
No.
Sometimes
Mars ult used.
just miss everything.
Yeah. He lived. I mean, Arena doesn't have that long of a cooldown, so it's not the worst thing. But like you were talking about, the resource, giving up the information, you're expending a little bit in the cooldown department. You have 3 heroes up there. Now you have 4. So they're actually forcing this tier 1 tower push, which is probably the right choice.
If HR wanted to, I think they could defend this tower right now. When there's no Arena and they have all their spells ready. Oh no, Leshrac doesn't have TP. Then they can't defend. They would need Lesh plus Oracle top. But he has already TP'd bot to trade for this bot tower. Level 4 Edict goes really fast. But yeah, to finish off on the thought about the Orchid on Quap, I think if you want to fight into this HR lineup in this game, you need a way of isolating the backline and taking Oracle out of the equation. Because I think the biggest problem is no matter who you go on, your single target burst on Prodigy is not that good. It takes a while to kill a hero. And Oracle will always save the primary target if you can't get on top of him. And the only way you do it is Quap Orchid or a dagger on Mars. And it doesn't seem like that's on the menu for him, so...
Yeah, he's still working on, I don't know if he goes straight up pipe, but does have the hood at the current point in time. Slark, as he talked about, working on Diffusal, not super close, but basically a recipe away. And I believe I saw the Monkey King going for Diffusal. Yeah, he's also going the same item. I mean, this is a hero that, in terms of the Monkey King, what kind of builds do you not like to see necessarily, but what builds do you find to be the most beneficial for him in these high-level games?
I think most of the time the high-value items are Echo Saber and Diffusal Blade in any order. Sometimes you only get one of them. And then on the rare occasion that you need to farm a lot and truly carry, you can go Battle Fury. It can definitely work on Monkey King, but I prefer to see him played more tempo style because he's so strong with his first item when it is a Diffusal or a Saber. And in this game, Sonic. I don't think he feels...
Taking massive damage here. Sonic Wave is expended as well, just to make sure that he does drop. Got him. That was the top net worth for a while, but no longer. Now it is Leshrac. And they're going to actually wrap around here. Epileptic Kid gets the pounce off into the spear. Very nicely done. That is a dead Oracle. See if they continue on. Mars ult is up, but not feeling too confident here as Epileptic Kid is a little weak in the HP right now. But this tier 1 tower is in peril. Question is, does HellRaisers want to defend? Roger?
Looks like
that is a yes. They will. Rolling Thunder is going to connect on the Mars. A lot of this damage being applied to the Dark Willow off screen here as DM is basically taking more damage than anybody else inside his arena. But there's another arena of sorts. That is the Monkey King, dealing massive amounts of damage. So it's a 1-for-0 to start. Looks like Ein is next. And that'll just break things up as VPP have to scurry away.
Yeah. Dangerous stuff when you have some key cooldowns.
There's the Diffusal.
Like Willow didn't have Terrorize, Quap didn't have Sonic, and you stay and push this tower. I feel like that's a too high-risk play where you gotta respect the fact that HellRaisers have insane team fight, and they have everything ready, right? Like, if Pango finds any sort of initiation angle there, it's just so easy for them to just run at them with a Leshrac and play around him. Next to your own tower, super strong hero. You need everything to commit for this mid-tier 1, I think. Easy to say afterwards, but, you know, Prodigy at least have the right idea that they want to play aggressively. I definitely think that is what they should be doing. Oh my god, he dodged them by just standing there. Yeah, he just quelled a tree and stood there.
That's next level right there. That's pretty nice.
Good stuff.
Well, it looks like VPP want to take this tier 1 tower. Now that Wukong's command is down, I believe that
different situation
HellRaisers will just give it up now. But yeah, that was an interesting fight, just to go back to it, because the Mars had 3 heroes inside his ult, which means that everybody outside was outnumbered in VPP's favor, but they still weren't able to really do anything. As Pangolier will get initiated on and gets blown up, as a result, Kisani takes the defusal, but it's purged off. And VPP will reassess the situation here.
Big item grab by Nyx. He gets his defusal, so 1 for either side now. Yeah, even though I wasn't too big of a fan of how they ran at this mid tower before and got killed 2 heroes, in the end they do just manage to go straight back and get it after. So when you think about it, it wasn't actually that bad. Like, yeah, you sacrifice 2 heroes, but you do end up getting the tower in the end, so... I kind of, on second thought and seeing it again, it's actually not too bad what they did, considering how many spells they forced.
Oh, this would be a giant kill. Epileptic Kid. Pounce will be here. Wukong's command will go off. Not able to dodge a whole lot. And yeah, Nyx will find his way to the grave. I mean, obviously just bought that defusal, so didn't have a ton of money to spare, but still. Definitely a very big kill. We have some more fight here as Sani gets off a split arc. Witch Doctor will be absolutely deleted. Roger with the Rolling Thunder comes in. We'll get the Mars, and we'll finish off Dark Willow on the side of the map here. So, in essence, a 2 for 1. But I still think VPP takes that trade.
It's okay. They have 2 low net worth supports that died, and they killed the 2nd highest net worth in the enemy team in the Monkey King. You did force a couple of spells. You forced the Monkey King Ring. You forced the Pangolier ulti. It's all right, but you're seeing how big of a threat Leshrac is here. They willingly just ran in 4v5 because they knew Leshrac is in a good position with Oracle behind. He is a boss with all this protection they have for him. So,
yep, he's looking real good, going for that Bloodstone now, and yeah, he is by far the top net worth. I didn't think he was that far ahead, but he surely is. Queen of Pain gonna get stunned up. Great layering from HellRaisers, able to finish him off. Epileptic Kid jumps in, but takes more damage than he's able to deal out, as that Pulse Nova just decimates the likes of Slark. He really needs this BKB, which is next on the list.
Yeah, they're obviously going to find an instant D-ward here as well, because obviously Queen of Pain knows that how the hell did they know I was there in my base? How did they jump me like this? There has to be a ward. So they trade a ward for a co-op kill. I think that's completely fine. Obviously, high profile kill, top net worth in the
a ward for a hero.
Sometimes that's not worth it. You'd be surprised.
I would not be. I've played many games of Dota, Synderen, at very low levels. And you've told me that my death was always good. As DM jumps in with that Mars ult, gets 3 again, and Slark's going to be able to finish off the Oracle. Mars will continue on here, trying to get a 2nd kill, as Leshrac will find his way to the grave. So Oracle not able to buy back and TP in to save his Lesh in time. So it ends up being a wasted buyback for Maposhka.
That's the key right there. Getting the Oracle is really the key to opening up the fight. As soon as Oracle's dead, they can confidently go on Leshrac and commit. And obviously Nyx was top at the same time on the Monkey King, so they didn't have the threat of the Wukong's command covering Leshrac's escape. So quick move from VP.Prodigy pays off in a pretty big way, because now if they manage to find Oracle again, he will have a pretty long death timer, and that could open up for potential Roshan or a big invasive play where they take control of the map. Oh no, Willow. This might actually
they're going to pop a Wukong's command for this. Yeah, Willow will find her way to the grave, but a nice cast into a Maledict. And they're able to find the Monkey King, and the Void Spirit. HellRaiser, that was very aggressive for just the Dark Willow. Interesting.
Yeah, quick from save to get off the Shadow Realm. It meant everything in that instance. If he doesn't get Shadow Realm off, they kill him instantly and get out. But this way they have to commit for too long. The response comes in quickly from Mars and Slark. And I think Slark with another 2 permanent agility there. Now up to 9 on Epikit. That's actually quite a lot for this stage of the game. And I gotta say, Prodigy are winning me over more and more in this game. I was a big fan of HellRaisers draft. They are still ahead on the gold, but the game plan of the Radiant is starting to come together. If Slark can get this big, he can outlast, eventually, good amounts of this dire damage and start building up in longer fights.
Yeah, he'll have that BKB very, very shortly, a couple hundred away. Actually, I was going to say, Leshrac did have enough to finish Bloodstone. but we'll actually hold off
Switching it up.
now and go for the BKB. So realizing that he's maybe not as strong as he thought. Do you still go Bloodstone later? Like, what's the point that Bloodstone it's too late?
I don't know if you go it later. I think if you go the BKB route, I would like to see a Hex in this game. Really good against both Slark and Queen. As soon as Dark Pact is expended, Hex can really ruin his fight. Alternative items, Shiva's Guard. Very classic items to buy on Lash. But yeah, Bloodstone, I don't know. I'm not sure if I like it after... On kind of any hero, really. I don't like it that much when you get it that later. Not that much later.
How often do you just keep a Kaya without turning it into something?
He could buy Kaya Sanj, for example. You get some static resistance. It's not bad.
So basically, if you don't go Bloodstone as one of your first couple items, it's not worth it.
Kaya Yasha is also good on Lash for the move speed build.
Yeah.
Kaya is just nice on him because he can use all 3 items. I can't think of another hero in the game that likes building Kaya into 3 different items. I don't think there is anyone.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Lash has options. He is queuing up the Bloodstone again though, so we might just see him go for that. Pit stop for BKB.
Didn't have the BKB. Gets pounced on. There's the Death Ward coming into fruition. Oracle's going to pop his ult on Kaysani. Epileptic Kid's the one that's taking the massive damage here. Still has the Shadow Dance available. The Dark Well is going to be deleted. There's the Mars ult. A nice spear onto the Leshrac, but the Slark did die in this engagement. Essence Ring is popped by the Lesh, keeping him very, very tanky and will live through this engagement as a result. The buyback onto the Dark Willow as well, but all she can do is put down a Bramble and run away. So the 3-for-0 with the buyback, make it 4, and the dieback onto the Dark Willow looks imminent.
And Mars is dying
Astro
too.
Step.
5 for nothing.
Yeah, Mars drops as well. So
And talk
Quap
about
the only one
instant
to survive.
value. Holy shit, that BKB paid off right away. I don't know if Prodigy clicked him before they initiated that fight, if they were aware of the BKB. If they were, I don't really like this initiation. You know the Oracle will cover behind. If you jump in with a stun, they're just going to instantly purge it off with Oracle, and he's going to BKB turn on you. Maybe they wanted to put their own Slark BKB to use, but they're just not favored in that fight. And that's a huge swing. It's really, really good play coming out from HR. I love Roger's choice in that fight on Pango to, Quap's dead.
Yep, Yule's into the Split Earth, into a Rolling Thunder. Oh, wait. Okay, they do have enough.
So in that previous fight, Roger just isolated Willow. He used his Rolling Thunder and spent the entire fight just making Willow useless. And it takes so much control away from the Radiant that Leshrac feels even better just committing. Because his teammates will be able to follow through when they don't get terrorized. And that's why they could just kind of run them down there. Some high-tier play coming out from HellRaisers in that fight. That was really, really good.
It's going to give the influx of gold going the way of HellRaisers, turning into another BKB for Nyx. Well, not implying that he has 2, but multiple on HellRaisers now, of course. But we should have mentioned that Slark did have the BKB for that fight. It felt like it did nothing for whatever reason. Obviously, it'll mitigate or completely avoid all damage from Leshrac, but it just felt like he melted for the most part.
And that hurts too.
That's true. Yeah, if you're alone, I guess he was alone in that fight.
Save is going to get caught here, maybe.
Is he though? Okay, he is. He gets off the Shadow Realm though, and Leshrac is going to dance around his dead body.
Oh, they found Quap as well. This is terrible.
Potentially, Quap getting pulled in. Will blink away to safety. Mars ult is there, and that's going to force a BKB from Leshrac.
I think Kazani actually had Yule ready and could have reached the Quap, but he was trying to, or hoping he could chain with the stun. But if he runs forward, follows into the Quap there, Yules, and then stuns, I think they get that Queen as well. So we're still going to get the tower, though. It could have been even better, but this is still great. Support kill, tower. Lots of map control.
Getting to that point where a Roshan would really help solidify their lead here. Especially considering you have a top 3 Aegis carrier in the entire game in the Leshrac.
Leshrac's super good with that, yeah.
Oh, Void Spear. Funnick picks up the Aghanim Scepter, so Dissimulate will, Resonant Pulse will silence now, and it gets a second charge. And it's a really good item.
They're really insanely strong right now on HellRaisers.
Yes.
crazy strong.
And they're gonna fight again. Witch Doctor gets stunned, and that means he's donezo. Funnick comes in with that Resonant Pulse again. Sonic Wave onto 4 heroes, but the Monkey King ult will continue on as Epileptic Kid is just taking right clicks to the back of the head. Will force out his Shadow Dance. And with this, I mean, it's only 1 kill for HellRaisers, but no one is really even low on their side.
Yeah.
Nyx has the okay, he's gonna take an entire wave. I mean, is it too risky to go for Roshan now that your ults are down?
Your lineup's
Pang
not
ult
good
is
at
up,
it.
but
I think that's the biggest problem. It just takes really long. You don't have any minus armor. Your physical damage it's okay, but not great. The disarm from Pango's nice.
Oh,
They definitely
okay. You know
can
what's
do
in
it,
there?
but just
We've
takes long.
talked about this. Nyx is going for Aghanim Scepter on Monkey King. He'll just solo it. It takes like 10 minutes, but he'll do it. Left track to the top lane, gets pinned to a tree, already at half health, has the Bloodstone available. It's going to Yule's first. Mars ult somehow up again. The cooldown on that is actually redonkulous. There's the BKB from Kason. He's going to do as much damage as he can to the multitude of heroes from HellRaisers, but he's getting chased out. The BKB still remains. Spear will not connect, but here comes the Monkey King. Gets off the stun. DM very, very low as Funnick looks to finish him off. But in the meantime, Slark is getting surrounded here. Epileptic Kid pops the BKB. He's going to have some help in the form of FN. Double kill for Funnick on the other side of the map. Epileptic Kid, again with the Shadow Dance, will live as a result. Shocked that more heroes are not dying in this fight, Syndra. People are living with slivers of HP. And that's going to
They got on top of the Leshrac there, and Oracle did not have false promise ready. That's why Prodigy really wanted that fight, and it was a good attempt, but still, just the amount of tankiness coming through now that Kasani has finished this Bloodstone, there was just too much to chew through. He didn't even use the Bloodstone, but look at his raw HP. He has a Bloodstone, 2300 HP, and an Essence Ring. So the amount of damage that you need to do, this is where it gets tricky for Prodigy. You don't have burst, right? Like Sonic Wave is all you've got. It's not gonna kill this guy. You need long fights, but when you take long fights, the enemy team benefits from them too. Like, it's not as simple as, oh, we just need to delay or extend the fight long enough for Slark to get stacks. You're making Monkey King strong with stacks. Leshrac is insanely good at long fights because he deals constant high damage. And something like Avoid Spirit with Aghanims as well, you know, regaining the charges on Resonant Pulse. I actually don't think Prodigy are playing the fights that bad. I just think they're extremely difficult to do.
Well, would you say the
with what they
BKBs on... I mean, this is maybe a hard question to answer, but considering the fights are going so long, the BKBs are being used. Once they're over, who has the advantage? Let's say they're even in levels or whatever. Is it HellRaisers with their BKBs are more important, or the side of VPP, or is it about even?
Yeah, it is a hard question to answer because it never really works like that. But let's just imagine that every BKB in the game just gets deleted right now. I think the Dire are strongest still. Because then Slark can't really fight. He gets eaten alive by Lash. This is a super high risk play.
Yes, Monkey King's coming. Oh dear. And they're actually going to abandon the Roche. It's at half health right now. They scanned the high ground, and yeah, that'll break things up right there. Epileptic Kid has this Shadow Blade. He's going to get initiated on. Has the BKB as a result of getting silenced. There comes Funnick with another Astro Step. Double BKB pop on the south side of this Mars ult. As Ein feels like he's just getting pounded every single fight, first and foremost. Not able to really get off any high-level ults here. So they find the 1 kill. The chase continues. And looks like Slark is completely surrounded. 70 seconds on the deck.
You see in this fight, Prodigy go in, they use 2 BKBs, they use Quap Slark BKB and Mars Arena, and they didn't get a hero in the enemy team below 80% HP, I think. Like, as soon as these BKBs are used, if you don't get kills, the fight is over. Your lineup can't realistically transition into getting meaningful kills after BKBs, because your Slark can't go into fights. There's too many problems for him. Leshrac is owning, he's struggling to fight Monkey King, always needs to deal with the disarm of Pango, double silences from Void Spirit. It's just way too many issues. And that's why I love this draft from HR, because I can really see how they plan on taking fights and how they plan on winning control of the map. The lineup just has everything I like in Dota right now. Lots of good team fight, wave clear, stuns, they have a save, they have a frontliner. The only thing they could be a bit better at is taking Roche, but as is apparent in this game, it doesn't really seem to matter very much.
Yeah,
as long as the enemy team isn't getting it either.
He's at 2/3 health, but they don't care. They got the racks. I still think that was a good attempt from VPP. They
I
realize that
agree.
they're behind. Like we talk about this all the time. When you're behind, you need to take risks to try to get back in the game. Otherwise, it's just never going to happen.
Absolutely. I don't, like I said, I don't think they've been playing a bad game. I just think AHR are playing very, very well, and I favor their draft. That's why it might look pretty one-sided here, but honestly, Prodigy played... They were neck and neck with them for a good, 20 minutes in this game. And then Leshrac exploded, but they were doing a pretty good job.
Nyx gets silenced on the tree, but it's not going to matter. He's going to pop his BKB. Mars ult is here,
my God.
but the Quap is going to die instantly inside of it. Epileptic Kid jumps in with his BKB, but he's getting decimated in the meantime. Jeez, he cannot survive through these fights at all. And now it's a scattered one as Dark Willow finds her way to the grave. And I'm not sure if they can... They could, in theory, go for bottom, but this might be the opening for Roche. Gives them that extra time. No, they were thinking about it. I mean, Aghanim is on
they
Nyx.
found DM. He's trying to cut the wave.
Uh-oh. Oh, my.
Oh, that's... Yeah, well, doesn't matter.
Continuing to get his silence. There's the root. Monkey King is here. Goodbye, DM. Good attempt to... I mean, I don't think they were even pushing the waves. So I don't know how much... Or pushing the lanes to get a barracks. I'm not sure how important that was to push out the waves. But either way, they'll end up getting Roche now, finally.
Yep. Pretty late nowadays in Dota to get the first Roshan at 33, but it's just a natural consequence of both lineups not being good at killing it. But eventually now HR with 3 casualties on the enemy team and the amount of farm they have can get it. You're right, the Monkey King X is what it took. All right, structure step.
Yeah, that's the MVP this game, for sure. Epileptic Kid will be able to TP out safely. I mean, what can they do in these fights? They don't exactly have... I mean, their Wombo combo, I don't know if we've seen it once. It's the Arena into Terrorize, into Sonic Wave, into Witch Doctor. Even just the Terrorize into Mars ult. I don't think we've seen that yet.
It's honestly, a lot of it is just credit to HR's super good game sense of how to get on top of the Willow. Like, identifying where Willow is, getting Void Spirit or Pango on top of it in every single fight. Willow has just been struggling to do anything in this game. There's always one of these heroes just jumping on top of it. And they both have solutions for Shadow Realm, right? You have the Void Spirit Silence, and you have the Pangolier ulti, just isolating Willow and not letting her play the game.
Yeah. Well, this could potentially
Speak of the devil.
fight as here comes the Rolling Thunder. It's going to stun, and then the Silence to follow on the Dark Willow, so she's not really able to use the Shadow Realm to high ability here. Queen of Pain pops the BKB out of getting stunned. DM very, very low. It looks like he will finally go down as Sonic Wave comes through, not dealing that much damage considering the Essence Ring, like we talked about, onto the Leshrac. And I believe he's ulted from the Oracle as well. Epileptic Kid pops the BKB inside the Mars ult now, but Mars, it feels like every time he does this, he just dies by himself. Every single time. Not sure if that's my imagination or not, but the buybacks will commence, and HellRaisers are looking to finish this game right now, and their push, like we've seen, is quite strong. Split Earth will not be there this time around, but you know, even with this Aegis, in case Sonic can't be killed, it feels like.
He hasn't had to use his Bloodstone yet this game. I think after he got it, he hasn't even activated it yet. I thought he was maybe going to use it during the Oracle in this fight, but he was like, nah, don't need it. And he was right. Man, HellRaisers are playing really good Dota. I don't know when this suddenly clicked for them, but I think this is the best. I don't want to use hyperbole, but I think the way HellRaisers play right now is probably the best Dota I've seen out of CIS. Out of the secondary team next to, you know, when VP is winning majors and stuff. It's the best I've seen out of CIS in a really long time. It's just so many good things they're doing right.
Leshrac, oh, he might actually... Okay, no. Just by being alive, he almost kills Epileptic Kid. Gets the Essence Ring off again, and this is going to be the GG. So game 1 going to HellRaisers in fairly convincing fashion. I mean, the laning stage was fairly even, I say. But
their opponents are not playing bad. This is a Prodigy team that we've both been impressed by. We didn't really like their drafting in their last 2 games we saw before this one.
And Korean to open up for HellRaisers in the second phase.
Did they? Okay, they haven't banned AA right now on the side of HellRaisers, and this is the nuttiest AA game that I could possibly see. Timber, Oracle Tree, all would get dismantled by it on a position 5 AA. the issue is you don't currently have the stuns or the setup to really make it a clean cut.
That's true. You've
Boom,
then
we
got
get
an
the
AA Rubik, right? It's a bit of a maybe flimsy duo support.
Yeah, that's the
Maybe.
problem. Like with an AA against an Oracle, you want heroes that you will burst it down, so the Oracle is forced to use his ulti the second
yeah.
it gets hit. But in this game, you get hit by the Ice Blast, and the Oracle can wait those 2-3 seconds, then ulti, and then AA ulti is just non-existent. It's like it didn't even clip the Timber. He's gonna heal either way, and then you kind of have this useless hero. So I'm not sure if they would want to go for it, and I'd be surprised if they weren't thinking about it. But like it could look kind of shaky just because of that.
Mars is also available. I feel like if you have, it's hard to pick Mars because of course you have the Timber Saw in terms of the laning side. If they just put the Timber, we saw as well this laning matchup. They put Funix solo and they aggro tri-lane. They could do the same again with the Timber Saw. You put him solo safe lane, you pick up an aggressive tri-lane. Tree is really strong in any tri-lane. Even he's just a strong hero. And now Oracle as well gives you that catch with the root. You pair that with any carry that has a little bit of damage early on, and that lane is pretty much a dead lane. And as well, Timbersaw lane, so hard to pressure him. So I think right now it's pretty spooky for her.
Well, they don't want the tri-lane situation.
Yeah, that mitigates that aggressive nature. I like this pick. It's very good for the laning phase. Issue is, post laning phase,
Do you not like Soul
pretty
Rip
redundant.
as like a good heal in those early bouts as you transition?
no, I'm just saying like this is like an insane PL game for
Yeah,
example.
if they don't pick it now, it's getting banned.
Yeah.
So, but if they do pick it now, you have 2 picks to respond to it. So.
Yeah, that is for sure. But then you also still have last pick inside of HellRaisers, so they could easily pick up that big gotcha pick that they've shown before. They've obviously not good this game, but they've seen Alp, Nagas, what else? They've had a Brood one game. I think they even played a Meepo. Like, there's so many gotcha picks that they can pick up that if they do hard counter the PL, there's going to be one of those cheesier picks that comes in and saves the day.
I really wanted to see a DM Sand King, so I'd like to see HellRaisers getting a PL here and then Virtus Pro.
I think we've seen a small sample group of Sand King. It's looked a bit rough.
Yeah.
I think he's had 1 win, 1 loss.
Yeah.
But he's also got like 2,000 games on his profile.
He has. So he definitely has experience.
Has he got 2,000 games? You know what?
I don't know if it's as big as 2,000. He has played a lot.
Give me a second.
He has a
Yeah,
lot.
we've been over this
check.
before. You're now the number man.
Say that. We're going to loosely
Numero
say number man. I just have access to the internet whilst the draft's a little bit...
That's, you know,
they go-
that's not where you get the numbers. It's how you
Okay.
use them.
They-
So we are going to see the Troll Oracle combo, though.
I'm thinking of someone else, mate. This man's not got 2,000 Sanking games.
Yeah, I was like, pretty
this is like-
impressive if he has got that many in.
Nah, he's hidden his account, though, so it's kind of cheating. He's got only 200. He has got 900 PL games, though, so that's kind of disgusting.
DM?
Yeah, I think I got the right guy.
Someone's cheesing their way through. But FN Razorbar looks to be coming out for VP.Prodigy as the 4th pick. So far, 3 wins, no losses. He's stamping up most of the wins, actually, for Razor in this tournament so far.
So
That's
now
the good old Razor.
you ban the Queen of Pain, and then HellRaisers have big damage problems when it comes to dealing with the Razor. He can just run in and suck up all the Troll's damage.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's just, I
It's,
feel like they've got
the
the
dog
same
on a
issue,
leash,
though,
right?
right? Like, look at the heroes they've got, right? How they play lanes. It's all about, they've got, the entire draft is basically a reaction to what HellRaiser's done. You have Undying for the tree lane. You've got Razor for the troll. But how do you take this fight? You play behind DP ult, maybe you chuck a tombstone down for a slow, but where's your stuns? Where's your anything?
That's true.
How do you hit outside of DP? Who's your building hitter? Of course, you have DP that kind of solves that problem. But if DP walks up by herself, then HellRaiser pick any burst, and suddenly your whole draft's collapsed.
Well, how do you fix that as final pick? Because, like you just said, they've got good push. I mean, they have decent damage in the fights, but you want lockdown, right? How do you? What's the plasterboard for this draft?
Well, I want to see them put the Razor mid, and then just be able to play out a get themselves a win condition or something.
Like
the
a
issue there is
Beastmaster
then
type esque hero.
okay, there's the Mars. They go back. Okay.
Surprised they actually made it this far, to be honest with you.
Okay, so now VP.Prodigy, they have this lineup that really fights good around an area. So
It's the fighting boys. Literally,
Yeah.
they're gonna just
Yeah.
want to fight.
Yeah, their
It
idea,
almost worked in last game.
Their idea is to get to a tower and then just stand there. Oracle doesn't like to defend towers. Tree obviously would like to be on the aggressive, so you have all the trees to work with around.
Do you have
so-
living armor though? So if only, living armor is gonna do a nice bit of work.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Ooh, what a back
how
game.
often do we see this? Oracle picked early, then back coming in as the gotcha pick. And has it got VP.Prodigy by the gonads on this one?
I do like this bat pick. It's going to have a strong lane no matter where it goes.
It's going mid.
Yep.
I think it's going
It's,
mid.
it's no matter. Yeah, it's going to go mid. It's going to have a strong lane. It's going to be able to pressure. It's going to be able to run through the back lines. I just think that VP, they put themselves in a position where they've had drafts like this before where you don't really know how they're going to win the game because they just have only fight, but they do just outfight their opponents. But my concern is the lanes aren't as great as they might have maybe drafted into it. And I think they've reacted too much in their draft, and HellRaisers just have the all-round nicer game to play.
What's your reaction to this draft, Nicola?
I like the HellRaisers draft. I can see the way VP.Prodigy wants to play, but the problem is you're fighting against the treant. He can delay your pushes in the beginning. You want to get those towers. HellRaisers, they're gonna wait for some items on bat. Then they're gonna react to those pushes, and this bat is gonna be amazingly strong. I just don't want him to go for the first item bots. I want to see like a drums or something so that he doesn't just die in the arena.
And I think the one of the last points though is simply that Prodigy don't have a lot of big burst damage, and you have double saves on your supports. So even in a fight in which they get a pick off, it's going to be very hard to maintain that, and they don't have enough stuns to keep them in place. So I think even if Prodigy have that early lead, eventually they're going to make a couple mistakes against these big saves, and then HellRaisers should be able to take the game.
My oh my, this panel, they sure do favor HellRaisers. You know, we said VP.Prodigy, too much fight. What they do afterwards, they pick up a DB to push this time. We're still not satisfied. What do you think, Sunsfan Synderen? Is this better than the last game? Can we actually back VP.Prodigy this time?
Synderen, answer that man's question now.
It's always on him, isn't it, son? Come on,
I can't when you
Shannon,
pressure me
take
like
a
this.
shot for once.
I kind of liked VP.Prodigy for most of the way here, but this Batrider last pick is just really good this game. So I'm a bit concerned. I don't know how much Kazani has played this bat in their official games. I think he has played it a couple of times, and he is definitely capable. But it's a bit of a step away from, more of the... It's a bit less on the carry side and a bit more on the playmaker side, and we'll see how that works out, because I do feel like Prodigy, if fights start correctly and they get a full drain off from Razor, I do think they can win the fights. I'm still on the HellRaisers bandwagon here. They're owning right now. But I see better chances for Prodigy probably in this game than the last one.
Okay. Well, DM is going to be playing his Mars again. Going to try to correct what... I feel like he was getting good Mars ults, but nobody was near him. Does that make them bad Mars ults then? Or is that just bad communication? I guess it could be anything at this point.
I think it was more of a strategy problem in the last game where, yes, his ultis were good, but the reason it doesn't look like all of his teammates are in them is that if they go in, they just die to Monkey King Leshtrek, right? So the hero was just very well counterpicked in the last game, and the whole strategy around it was solid from HR. In this game, the Mars gets 5th picked, and it makes it very different. Because now, yeah, you still have the Oracle against him, but it's a better Mars game than the last one, I would say, clearly. And his teammates have good synergy with it, too. So I'm pretty hopeful for him to show improvement here.
Dying. Getting right click down very low. Has another decay coming up, though, so we'll be fine.
That's
But
because of boots.
fine is a relative word. That's true. He does have boots. He's a tanky boy.
And look
Even
at
without any
HellRaisers.
items.
This is the same as last game. Aggro tri-lane, ward behind the enemy tower to snipe couriers, and they're going to leave Funnick alone in the safe lane on his Timber, but this time, his lane matchup will not be the easiest. This time around, it's the other way around, where he is bot, and now DM will be playing in the safe lane. Kind of getting laid into, though.
Yep, takes a lot of damage. DM,
Has to
another
salve
right
to
click.
live.
He's going to pop the salve.
It's not good.
It'll prevent the first blood, but now he's basically... I mean, he has 5 tangos. It's going to take a while to get back up. But this opens it up for Nyx to get some free last hits here. Absolutely no pressure whatsoever. And I guess that's exactly what you want if you're HellRaisers. I mean, typically when you pick an Undying, if you want a tri-lane, you win the tri-lane. That's why you pick them, isn't it?
I think it's part of it. Like the panel said, they're kind of just picking it into this Timber plus Treant just to have the decay in lane. But I think what you do here for VPP is you get level 2 on Rubik, and then he TP's top. And then you play this 3v3 lane where A level 2 Rubik is actually pretty strong in this lane, and DP should be able to hold her own against Timber. I don't really see them pressuring Funnick that much when once he reaches level 3. So maybe they're going to try to do as much as they can before that. They're actually doing a lot right now.
Yes, they are.
No, it's not bad at all.
About 200 HP. Does have a bunch of tangos left. So you do think that Save will TP out momentarily, or that he should? There's the courier kill you were talking about.
If they can keep pressuring Funnick this hard, I don't think he has to TP out yet. It's when Timber gets level 3, I see this being way more challenging for them. When he gets 2 in reactive armor, you might not be able to put enough pressure to make it worth it. It's going to be
He's going to pop his salve, and it will not get canceled. So looking for the courier kill is Save. Will not find it. But yeah, you're right. That top ward ended up benefiting HellRaisers yet again with that courier kill. As we're going to see Spirit Siphon again onto Funnick, but it's actually going to get a lot of pressure here from the creeps. That's just going to increase his armor, and there's the level 2 reactive armor.
Oh, they're bringing Undying down here.
Here comes Undying. Yeah, it's a 3v1 now.
That does not sound very good to me, but that's one of the challenges when you have Undying is if this hero doesn't have a lane to dominate, you just feel bad, right? Like you want to go somewhere where you can pressure. You're not going to be able to pressure the bat mid. You've already lost top, and even if Rubik comes up there now, I think the lane's over. Troll's level 3, Mars just barely got level 2 just now. So do you have anything better to do? And if the answer is no, I mean, you're trialing a Timbersaw. I don't... And he's already level 3. You're sure you're going to be able to pressure him like this, but is this worth it?
That Undying just... top lane, we'll talk about that in just a moment. DM gets a nice spear off, so... I'm not sure if he was actually threatened, but being pushed off the lane regardless. Yeah, I mean, this troll is getting 100% free farm at this point. That is going to be super scary if that continues to happen. But you're right, like, the levels have come through, so it's going to be difficult to kill him going forward anyway. Funnick has 16 stacks of decay on him right now. Still has a Timber Chain available, so will live through the day.
It looks nice when you have so low max HP, and you just see the regen ticking up. It goes so fast. It's like he's using a salve right now. Yeah. But...
like, all right, decay. I got a couple tangos. Once he's out of tangos, then it'll feel pretty bad. But before we get into any of these other, keep talking about these Timber/troll lanes, the mid lane, Razor versus Bat Riders. We're going to see initiation here. Flame Break to go along with...
oh, he got a regen.
Firefly
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's going to get that regen. Tasty, tasty delights.
Didn't have bottle, though. Okay. So he was hoping Aina would decay too early. Assuming that the region will pick up. So he was kind of like baiting him, and then eventually he's like, I have to take it or Undying will do it. So
yeah, makes sense.
At least he didn't get the full region value there at all.
But 1v1 battle, Cinderin. Bat Rider versus Razor, who wins?
Early on, Razor is fine, and then as soon as Bat reaches level 4 or 5, that's when this stuff is going to happen. You get triple sticky on Razor, and you're in trouble, and the enemy team has to TP in to save you. As First Blood is top, DM Mars will have such a shit game.
Yeah.
This hero with such a bad start, I've played this hero a lot, and as much as it can be amazing, and you can feel like the best player in the game when you have a good start, you can just feel like you can do whatever you want almost sometimes. Man, is it awful when you're far behind. Like, there's so little to do on the map. And he is currently bottom net worth in his team minute 5. Level 2.5. You compare that to the Timbersaw.
Even more surprising.
Timber is also struggling, but he's still a full level ahead of the Mars, and he has another 400 net worth. So
yeah,
they're both having terrible games, and I just see the Timber having more of an impact very early on.
Yeah, Mars taking some pressure again in the top lane. Not sure they'll find the kill this time around, as Troll is not super close, but DM does get quite low. We're going to see a gank mid. This is probably going to be the more important one. Static link being applied to the Bat Rider. And here comes Save.
Good response. That's
more than enough heroes to take him out.
You need Razor to have a good game here. The panel also talked about it. He needs to be able to run in and link the Troll, and even more so now that Troll has easily the easiest game out of everybody here. Total free farm. It's big, and it slows down the Bat a lot, right? So Bat is now 800 gold behind the Razor in this 1v1 mid, and it's really because they've done a good job at responding, and because FN played the first few waves very well. That's when Razor builds the gap to Bat, and he managed to do it nicely.
Lane. They're going to finally find Mars in the trees, and this is going to be an easy kill as Nyx takes it again. So that's 2 kills for him in this top lane to go along with Well, who cares how many last hits, because he's top of the net worth. 600 above the Death Prophet, who is doing very well for herself. That's somebody we haven't really brought up, is Epileptic Kid.
Yeah.
We talk about how Timbersaw will survive in this lane. Like, they haven't killed him, but Death Prophet is farming.
Absolutely.
And will now exorcism this tower.
Yeah, Phonic's going to
like they
pull away the
wanna-
wave. So the siege creep will die to the tower. This is a really good defense from him. This is perfect. He knows that it's really difficult for the enemy team to kill him. Will force out the...
Nice
he might die
telekinesis,
now.
exorcism. Okay, he's very difficult to kill him indeed.
Unless he kind of gave them that kill by throwing the chain out, actually. It allows save to get a lift, and then there's cooldown. If he doesn't use his chain at all, I don't think he dies. Because they have to... Or maybe he dies, but it takes them way longer. Because then they have to lift him, and then after he chains... Or they actually have to not lift him. It becomes a game of chicken, where you want to hold on to the lift so he can't
Just
chain
like
away.
the rune game from earlier. Pushka taking static blink and taking death. Good English.
I take death anytime.
That would be a good voice line. Don't you want to be a voice actor one day, Cinder? I can hook you up with something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
We'll
your
talk
custom
after
game
the-
has
after the
terrible
cast.
voice acting so far, so I'm pretty sure I
You know,
can.
I've actually, not to talk about this anymore, but I've gotten some complaints about people really hating it. So we might have to do something about it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, you can switch it off, right?
No, that's the kind of
Wait, what?
problem.
I thought it was a
Bat
critical.
Rider. It will be. That's how it's supposed to be.
Oh, he baited out the lift there,
Undying.
Phonic. Nicely done, bot.
We'll get the lasso into the death with the Firefly. So, despite dying early on, Bat Rider is able to find himself a kill, but still a little bit behind here by a little bit. I mean, 800 gold in net worth. We'll be going straight for Blink. So the panel kind of talked about this. I was going to ask you this as well in terms of itemization for Bat Rider. We've been seeing tons of them just go straight up Boots of Travel instead of like going drums like we used to see more back in the day. This time we're going straight up Blink before anything else. What do you think?
He's playing against 0 saves, so it makes Dagger a lot better when you can reliably go on somebody. And I think the call from the team here is, we're going to make Troll God this game. And the way we do that is by not getting him linked by Razor. So every fight, Kazani will be looking for this Razor, and he will try to jump lasso him, and they're either going to kill him, or they're just going to pull him out of the fight and put him in a really bad position. And if Bat Rider manages to do that, Troll is kind of king in this game. He has Oracle saving him, they have Living Armor, they have tons of protection, Timbersaw will be free to move as well. Razor's really the key. So with that logic, I think the Blink can be good. Most of the time, I don't think Blink first is that good. But in this game, there's a good case to be made for it. For that reason. I think Force Staff first could also be a good item here. You know, it's more flexible with countering Razor. You just force the guy away that gets linked. But Phonic gets to troll
Epileptic
again.
Kid had Exorcism up to take out the tier 1 tower. He might get even more than that as Phonic getting extremely low and will draw.
Had a nice
It's 9
dodge
minutes
earlier.
Sorry, 9 minutes 40 seconds, Cinder. And right now, VPP have both outposts. Will
Yep.
that continue?
And Miposhka will be too late. So, yeah, they'll get them both. Nicely
Well,
done.
if he didn't deward, he wouldn't have been too late. Oh, they're going to have multiples coming in. Ooh, they might get it, actually. It's going to be pretty close. Oh, we have to look at that very shortly as
They
the
got
lasso is applied. It's a 1-for-1. Did they get it?
They got it. I
Man.
didn't think they could connect
That is
over
so
that
quick.
fast. That was really... I
Well, you
already
can do
wrote
it
that off.
from the small camp. You can channel it.
Yeah, it was because Batrider and the Troll both connected in time. So, yeah, nicely done. I thought they were just giving it up, but barely getting it and getting the Razor kill to boot. And the last hit for that Razor kill did go to the Troll. That was a killing spree, so he
my.
gets even more gold.
Oh, dear.
He's ramping up fast. Does he have a Fury soon? Oh, he went Maelstrom. Okay. So, Maelstrom complete. He's getting really farmed on the Troll, which is obvious here. And Timbersaw, we want to continue talking this Timbersaw versus Mars narrative a bit, because now Mars is actually overtaking him. Like, they're both having terrible games, but the amount of pressure they put on Phonic really did pay off in the end. I thought he was going to do slightly better than this, and he did have a good escape once from a gank, where he fake cast the Timber Chain, the used lift, and then he managed to get out. But the consistent pressure of DP has got to him, and now he's going to go mid, so that he can get some better and safer farm. And they're going to park good old Tree Man bot to just press one button and kill waves.
Wow. Nature's Grasp. Very good ability.
He's got
very
a Necro
strong.
book.
Oh, you're
Tree.
right. Wow. Damn.
Interesting. I don't
still
think
a whole
I
recipe
have
away,
seen
but-
this build.
Very strong. Necrobooks, Synderin. I mean, we're past the point where people leave it at level 1, right? Since that the nerf? Or we still see it from time to time?
Yeah, we do still see it on certain heroes. Oh, top lane. There it is.
Lasso
Dagger
initiation,
reveal.
Blink dagger reveal. FN is linking. Will he be able to get out? Doesn't look like it, but it might cost Batrider his life, but I think he'll take that at the end of the day.
He's alive.
Or will he even? Only
Just juke.
5
Just
second
juke the
cooldown
spear, man.
now.
It's easy.
Yeah, easy. Boom. Down he goes. So 1-for-1, Batrider. I mean, they're both around the same network.
Oh, bot
but-
lane. That's the bigger kill.
Oh, wow.
I used
she popped
Exo. Wait,
Exorcism.
what?
Wow.
Why?
And the tip to follow. Yeah, that was weird. He was mega dead. Not even remotely
Wait, what
close.
the hell?
Does he have Yules or something? No, he doesn't even have
No.
Yules yet.
I don't know if that was
I was gonna
it might have been a
That had
misclick,
to
and
be
he
a
was trying to
misclick.
spirit siphon the other hero because there's like no way.
Yeah, I think that was a misclick. So two whole minutes of no exorcism, and they know that. That's why the tips came through. It wasn't like one of those misclick BKB in the jungle or Ravage in the jungle and no one sees you, right? They're
Right.
still afraid of it because they don't know the truth behind your disgusting mistakes. But this one was in full view of thousands of people.
They're gonna start getting texts.
Shame.
Hey, did you see DP
Shame.
used ulti? Uh-oh. Nyx.
Yeah, well, the Timber
He gets
Chain
pinned
was
here.
stolen by Save. Mars ult is here. Nice pin into the arena. The Timber Chain does not connect to those shields, unfortunately, for Save, but it doesn't
Instant
really matter.
revenge. And the kill, as they were hoping for, goes to Undying. So he gets the gold bounty.
Oh,
They
that
were-
Aghanim Scepter's coming, Cinder. Woo, doggy.
I think they were hoping that the kill would go on Epikid. He was trying to secure it with Crypt Swarm, but then Troll used Magic Wand, and the Crypt Swarm didn't get the last hit, so it went to Undying.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, Undying, I don't understand this hero. Like, why is this a hero in Dota? And I understand that the hero wins sometimes, Cinder. I do understand it. But it feels like
good.
if you do not have a good laning stage, you suck the whole game. You're just on a team of 4 other players that are trying to carry you. You are the dead weight. You know, that's how I feel about Undying. Obviously an exaggeration, but there's some truth to it.
There is I think this hero is really, as far as supports go, it's one of the most polarizing ones, just because if you lose your lane, you feel like you've lost half your hero. But the other part is, he is really only good at one type of gameplay. There's tons of supports in this patch right now that are played and that are useful that can do different things, right? Like can skirmish, or can team fight, or can assist in taking Roche. Undying, or can wave clear, right? Undying has no wave clear, no stun, no good slow, like, yeah, Tombstone, and his ulti, but you need to come in really close, right, compared to a lot of other supports.
Yeah.
He team fights. That's what he does. And if his laning stage is bad in the start, it can be difficult to find the fights he likes. So I'm with you. The
We're
hero
going to
is
see an
really...
early Firefly. We'll talk about it Undying the rest of this game. Don't worry. I got a lot to say about this. Oracle's going to pop the ult onto the Batrider, who will live as a result. Troll Warlord is Yulesed up. We'll pop the Battle Trance. Actually, that was during his Battle Trance, so nicely done. They'll take him out with ease. So 1-for-1, and Rubik is the only one to die for VPP so far. The Exorcism will continue. They're going to find Roger on this very purple Treant Protector, where if this set came out 5 years ago, everyone would be very angry. Ends up being a 2-for-1 in favor of VPP.
Yeah. Great initiation from them. They got the arena off the way they wanted. They got Razor on top of the Troll instantly, started draining him out. Even though the Oracle comes out to save the bat and ultimately give him a kill on the Rubik, HR very quickly identified abort mission. And that's one of the things that's also pretty impressive, especially in the CIS region. Historically, teams have been, when they get into fights, it's a lot of just fight to the death mentality, without so much... the region is known for divide Dota, right? Where you don't control your aggression too well. But HR seems to have a good strategic understanding of, okay, this is a bad fight because the thing we're trying to avoid in this game just happened. All of it happened. They got the jump. They got a link on our Troll. We cut our losses. And those decisions are not that easy to make all the time. But I think backing out there is the perfect choice. You lost 2 heroes, you got 1. not the end of the world. Big ultis used by the enemy team as well. Arguably, it wasn't even really that big of a loss, right? It was a troll kill, though. It's big, but Exorcism was used, Arena was used, and you lost
But
troll plus
Exorcism's
train.
almost back up already.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, Undying might be in trouble
Find
here.
Undying. Oh, on the cliff he goes with the tombstone. Lasso onto the Mars, trying to bring him up with his disgusting friend on the cliff. Not able to make it, though. The silence to follow. So it's a 1-for-1 and Undying for a Bat Rider. Not what you want to see if you're the HellRaisers right now. Oracle pinned to the tree. Spirit siphoned up. And chopped down by DM as they're going to attempt to go for this tier 1 tower mid.
Yeah, nice sequence from them. They played aggressively again with Arena up, even though they didn't have Exorcism. They feel like there is a play there, and they get it done. Glyph plus Living Armor. Can they defend this tower? Oh, the Brambles didn't connect on the range creep. Oh, next wave's coming in anyway, so who cares? And there's no backdoor anyway, and they can easily tank this. So what am I saying, Shannon? That's really stupid.
The tower's dead.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone as expected. That is probably the most high-value move of the game that Prodigy have made. They got a big kill on the bat plus the mid-tier 1 tower without using Exo. And that means their next play is now available to them. Arena in 30 seconds could look to smoke up, play aggressive once again, try to invade, and really play on the timing that they have right now. They're actually really damn strong with 2 of their cores. So if they do wait for the... Oh, I like this play from HR.
Yeah, they're going for a Roche. All right, much
This
earlier
is
than last
not
game, of course.
easy
but
to identify that this is happening. It's not an obvious play on the map right now.
yeah, Troll Warlord definitely opens up the possibility to take this.
They have no idea this is happening.
Timbersaw tanking.
Not at all.
Yeah, this could be a free Roche.
If they knew, they would be fighting this 100%. I think the
yeah.
Dire have a really good chance of winning this
Undying
fight.
was made for this. He wasn't made for much, but Roche fighting. Tombstone in the pit is one of them. Now, I was thinking about this after the last conversation. I think I've finally decided what the reason is that Undying has always is kind of a poopy type of hero, very one-dimensional. Okay. Unfortunately, that thought will have to wait here, as there might be a fight that will ruin this conversation. Okay, never mind. So throughout the history of Dota, including Dota 1, Undying's had actually a bunch of different ults, if you remember. He actually had a single target ult that was like amplified damage. It was always around the same premise, right? But look at, like, just based on these heroes in the game, and based on heroes in Dota, do you fear Undying's ult at any point? Like, I'm looking at these other ults, I'm like, wow, I'm scared of this. Oh, watch out for Lasso. Watch out for that Chakram. Mars ult is huge. Undying ult, does anybody care? Does anybody give a shit that Undying just ulted? Nobody's gonna, like, if you're doing a team fight on a pro team and you're saying that you only have so much you can say, like, oh, he popped his ult, watch out for this ult. Nobody in the history of Dota has ever said Undying just ulted, watch out. You know? That's the problem with him.
I guess yeah, but it's not that black and white. It's not that simple. But I'm with you. Like, the ulti is definitely not very terrifying, except from the looks.
It looks scarier than it is. That's the problem. Maybe.
And then you have these really subtle-looking spells that just murder your team. And then Undying shows up, and everybody's like, it's like one of those enemies in Resident Evil that you just kill with one grenade. You're like, whatever. Yeah.
I'm glad we could agree on something finally, Synderen. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Speaking of Undying, he's sporting his Tranquil boots, and Infused Raindrops still has 2 of those left. Very exciting stuff, I know. Oh, Epileptic Kid has a set of Vampire Fangs, which...
really good on DP.
Yeah, really good on that hero. I like it. Of course, the actual lifesteal doesn't apply at all, so maybe it's not that good. It's only 6%. Is it really that good?
Night Vision is also pretty nice on DP, I would say.
Yeah, true.
The other option is to give it to well, both Razor and Mars like it too. Maybe he should swap with Razor, actually. Razor has BKB now, and then you could put the Essence Ring on DP. I think that would be good too. We'll see if they do that or not. Yeah, I think it's an overlooked aspect of the item a lot of the time when people talk about it. Like, it's very natural to focus on the lifesteal part, because the other part is only active for half of the game. But Night Vision can be super useful on specific heroes for being able to detect that there's a good sound score. Oh, he got BKB instantly! That was so fast!
Very nicely done. Epileptic Kid doing a lot of damage as the Troll Warlord will fall. Of course, that is the Aegis, but he already used his ult, and they're just surrounding him including Undying. He's going to pop his BKB.
Stolen lasso.
And the stolen lasso will ensure the kill. That's a double kill for Razor. And now VPP going to push with his exorcism up. HellRaisers caught with their pants down a couple times now.
And it makes all the difference in the world that he gets BKB off. If he doesn't get BKB off in time when he gets lasso there, they can maybe burst him, and this fight is totally different. But FN just being quick on the fingers there just ruins their play completely. That's the thing about Batrider here. You jump in and you catch that Razor. If you get counterplayed by a Rubik Lift or a Mars Arena and you don't get out, you're dead after you go in. So you better get a big kill out of it. And yeah, that was super well done from FN.
They forced some TPs out on the top lane. Epileptic hit. Of course, his ult's already down. They couldn't really push anymore anyway. But, I mean, despite all of this, Synderin, it's only a 1k net worth lead for VPP. It feels like they've won the last 3 engagements, but it hasn't really created any true separation.
What it does do, however, is that I think this 1k lead, like imagine it's a 1k lead in 10 minutes. I think every minute that goes by that it's even is good for them because Bat isn't progressing very much, right? The heroes on the Radiant that are getting gold, there's quite a lot of gold on this Treant, but his net worth isn't that valuable inherently compared to, say, having it on the Batrider. Or the Timber's net worth as well is not high enough to really be a threat. So I like them with a 1k lead here right now. I think it's clearly enough. Because their items and their timing is just super high value in the game right now. It's good.
All right. I'll trust you on this one, Synderin.
Oh, they're going to see Roger here. Do they have a dust?
Yep.
They do.
Inside the trees, dust, but it's created enough separation.
Just walk in the trees.
I mean, even if they wanted to kill him, I mean, they probably could have if they just grouped up a little more. Is it really worth the extra time, though, Synderin? I mean, it's a very annoying hero. It's going to clear another wave, though. Pops his Necrobug. That's so random.
It's a bit of gold for
Is it
Rubik.
just for, like, the split push here?
I'm not completely sure about the logic behind the book. If it's just to ramp up these split push plays or to ramp up his farm, that he can, since he's generally just out on the map doing random things, that he can be that much more efficient and get toward bigger items. I don't know if that's the logic. Or if it's to keep the creep wave in place when he uses Nature's Grasp, and he can have the Necro Book prevent them from doing exactly this where they run away all the time. Very annoying. Because if you do place your hero on the lane when you cast the Brambles or when you cast the Grasp, you're obviously exposed, right, to getting killed. And that is what might be happening right now.
Yeah. This feels like an AUI 2000 play. He used to do this on like Coddle and literally every other hero.
God, he used Overgrowth just to delay them here as well.
Yeah, he did just that. And now they might actually try to commit. Now they've pissed him off. And Tombstone is placed. Undying found his purpose in life. Yules is there. Telekinesis. Silence. Every spell in the book.
If I'm Treant, I'm not even mad. That's so funny and good, actually. Man, the amount of space from Roger, that's... It doesn't even feel satisfying when you kill him, you know? Sometimes when there's a pesky here in the game, you're like, finally we got him, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, god damn, how did it have to take so long?
Well, they're going to turn this very important tree kill. I mean, he was the reason they could not push the last 10 minutes, it feels like. Just keeps clearing these waves. Okay, I was going to say they were going to go for that tier 2, but it looks like that is not the case. BKB is a 9-second now for Death Prophet. We'll be going for the Shivas.
This is a big moment, the smoke from VP.Prodigy.
I mean, is it not obvious that they're smoked? Because they were by the tier 2 tower and then they decided not to push and now they're off the map.
Yeah, it was probably a little bit too slow. If they had been able, I don't know if it was possible for them to do this 10 seconds earlier, but it could have been a really big moment if they caught the
going to tank it. Good positioning here.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll actually see it. Oh, the blink up from DM. Looking for Nyx. This could be a really big kill if they find it. BKB into the TP though. Right. And yeah, they're going to have to settle for the Oracle.
I thought for a moment he was going to hold himself just to buy some more time there, but decides against it. It's very clear what the game plan is from HellRaisers right now. They've identified we're not favored in fights, so if the enemy team is going to group up and run at us, we will avoid taking any engagement. Treant is just assigned to taking care of bottom lane. Whoever can takes care of mid lane, and then Timbersaw is taking care of top lane. You see, this is very good strategic split. They will catch Roger, though. Nice spear.
They sure will.
It as well be just a game of cat and mouse for a large part right now. Just gonna clear out the pests if you're Prodigy, so that you can get access to something big in the game.
Well, Halberd is pretty close to being finished from FN. What's that?
Look at Timber. So they've again. So now Treant died bot. So they think the aggressive play from Prodigy is going to come bottom. So Funnick is going to start cutting the wave.
Oh wow!
He
learned
could
from
be in
Tree.
trouble though.
In the Timber chain for now. Yeah, with the Lotus Orb, they're gonna have to wait. Telekinesis is coming now though, and there it is. They cancel the Timber chain, and yeah, he's gonna be brought down.
He didn't use his hood. Use your hood, bro. He might have actually been able to buy himself some time there. Could have maybe got over the tree line at least. I think he's dead either way, but
yes, he is.
Could have been a bit of time.
Kasani, after that Blink Dagger, did go for the Force Boots of Travel. Ooh, Spider. Oh, that's the wrong side. I was gonna say Spider Legs on. Actually, never mind. Well, I guess Spider Legs. Would you still put it on Batrider if they got it? Despite
Bat or Troll.
Yeah,
it's a really good item against Razor. You can suddenly find escape angles that you don't usually have against the Link.
Ooh. Paladin Sword's a good one.
Yeah.
I think DM might just keep
DP,
that one.
Yeah. I gave it to DP.
DP? Oh,
yeah, it's good.
Just for the regeneration.
It's a lot of healing.
Amplify? Okay. Oh, they're going to find the Batrider completely surrounded. It feels like they're just trying to delay. Is that how it feels to you? They're just pushing these lanes, being annoying, dying just to buy time for Troll to get huge.
It's very clear team strategy move. Like they're talking, what's our play in the game, and they've decided that this is the one. I kind of agree with it. Obviously, the Batrider casualty sucks. The Treant Death bot and the Timber Death bot weren't as bad as the Bat one, just because his next item is more important than theirs. Oh, they caught Funnick as well. They're really trying to cut, but Prodigy are doing a really good job at catching. Playing like this is difficult. What HellRaisers need to do is hard. If you feel like you can't fight, you need to dodge and push waves all the time and minimize casualties. Playing Dota that way is very, very hard in this patch. They're probably going to lose Roche too. And now it's looking very Prodigy this game. With an Aegis SNY on Razor just picked up. Shiva coming in for DP. They might be able to high ground soon.
Yeah, it's getting to that point.
All they got to handle is, if they can push before Bat gets BKB, they're in a good spot. If they can't, suddenly Kasani has a much stronger play in the game where he can BKB Blink Lasso and force step the guy into the base. You know, good old Batrider stuff. And Rubik can't counterplay at that point when the BKB is out. So,
I mean, he's still a ways away, though.
Yeah, that's why the Death Top was important.
Right,
it slowed him down by 2 minutes on his BKB progress.
All of VPP in the top lane means that Troll can apply a little bit of pressure to the bot tier 2. He's going to get a little bit of the Plasma Field. Static Link is here. There are a couple of members to help out Troll if they want. They're actually going to leave him. Troll is dead. So Troll is joining the party of pushing / feeding to buy space for himself.
Got them, I think, 4 TPs and 3 bounty runes. It's still... Oh, okay, Bat dies, then it's bad.
Bat dies too.
Yeah. Before that, it was somewhat even. Now it's not at all.
HellRaisers definitely on the back foot this time around. I mean, the score in terms of kills is not remotely close, but net worth still not crazy. 6K is definitely a healthy amount for VPP, but wouldn't say it's insurmountable by any means.
Oh, they can absolutely lose this game, and they can lose it against a Bat without BKB as well, but it really comes down to finding a way to contesting the Rubik. Because Rubik will counterplay this Bat every single fight. Bot tower will go down this time.
Tome is going to be on Troll, by the way, trying to get this level 20.
Yeah. Guessing he'll take 30 damage. Evasion is not good against DP, so more than likely the evasion or damage talent.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And now comes the hard
this might be
defense.
the push.
Yeah, this is a tough defense. It's really difficult.
Aegis intact. Cheesed on Epileptic. Here comes Battera. They do get the
Rubik was
DP
not in
his sight.
position. Oh my god, he got it
off.
off.
The cheese, though, just in time, and the Exorcism is going to do a hell of a lot. 2 are going to die. There are buybacks available for HellRaisers. Nyx is forced to use Battle Trance. On top of the Oracle also will be full health, but he is completely surrounded right now. Trying to go for the Undying, but even he can't kill him. 3 dead, 3 buybacks. And this is going to be a Rax, if not more.
Save was not ready there to counter the lasso, but they still, DP just barely survived, like 5% HP got cheese off, and then the fight's just over. They committed everything to try to get the DP. I love the shot call, because they identified that they had the chance of doing it while Save wasn't ready. But they were lacking a little bit of damage, and VP just destroyed them.
They need to get some
good damage
kills here,
Phonic.
though. They have potential. FN, pretty low, but that is the Aegis. They don't want to die back just to take that out. And
That's a
DPP is going to
huge
get out
win.
without any deaths.
Yep. They only lost to cheese. For 3 kills, 3
He
buybacks.
had, I think, about 100 HP when he popped that cheese.
Yeah.
That was
Mega
like, what
close.
happens if he dies there before using cheese? Do they just lose the fight entirely?
Yeah, they get run over.
That was very pivotal.
Probably get run over. You can't say for sure. Like, Razor is strong here. Like, maybe it becomes a trade of sorts. But yeah, that would have been really, really big if he died.
Well, HellRaisers are going to continue to try to be pesky in these lanes. Roger doing his thing, doing his AUI 2000 impression. Phonic is working on a Sange Kaya. Kaya Sange, as they call it. K&S. Do you actually call it by the full name every time? Or do you abbreviate in any way?
Kaya
'Cause there's
Sange?
S and Y. Yeah.
I think I call it Kaya Sange. Yeah.
Well, smoke on both respective sides. Might see a clash here. I'm not sure if Shiva's was done in that last fight. It might have
For
been.
DP?
but
It was.
either way. Okay. Well, we'll be working towards a...
Oh, this is
Magnum.
not how you want to start this fight.
Is in there, pops the BKB. They're going to try to do what they can while these BKBs are active, but Troll Warlord getting really low. The Battera is going to be the first to fall, and Troll followed suit. GG's call. This is going to game 3.
Nice quick response there from Save. He blinked overgrowths that he had stolen. He steals lasso from Bad. Yeah, that was a desperation move from HR. They knew
We can't really look at her as only a team fight hero, because she does fight every like second she has Bedlam. But the main thing I think is VP.Prodigy have Oracle. Oracle, to me, is the best counter to the Dark Willow. We know that they play it. We know they like it with Mars. Just don't let them have it when we don't have the Oracle. I guess that's kind of a point, and it comes back to this being a full series, HellRaiser seeing what VP.Prodigy likes. I don't think it was, if it was a game, we see VP.Prodigy adjust and then HellRaisers adjust that. So this is like really, really nice drafting here from both teams.
Yeah, especially like the Willow kind of leans into that fighting constantly style, which we see in VP.Prodigy, even in the game that they lost, was seeking out more or less from the get-go. So what do you see coming out next with that in mind?
So they have a Timber, they have a Weaver.
Okay, that definitely screams killing.
That's the position 4. That'll be... Is it
Save?
Yeah.
Is that a 100% position for? I think he played it, but we saw it in
Save's played it once so far in the tournament. It's been 3 times picked. It's
The
won
only
all
other
games.
player is an Iceberg, right?
Yeah, Iceberg played it once mid,
Mm-hmm.
won that game. It's played twice by 2 different POS 4s, and it won both games. And then the Venge, another hero that has barely been picked. I think she's only came out twice, but it's 2 wins so far. And it is a double minus armor strat now for HellRaisers.
double minus armor. You have a save now before the Weaver gets the Ags, so that's really nice. I mean, this is interesting to see. I didn't expect the Venge. I definitely didn't expect the Skywrath Mage. But this is the idea. You catch someone with a Skywrath Mage, you get the global out, and that hero is just dead. Even if it's a Timber, he's dying, and if you're starting the fight that way and just chasing them, it's gonna be awesome. Not many heroes actually counter the Silencer. I think no heroes counter both the Silencer and the Skywrath Mage in lane. That's gonna be cool.
Oh, that's a nice PL game.
This is a
Yeah.
really good PL game.
Do you think maybe it would have been a better idea to leave the Sansa until the gotcha pick? Or don't you think it has that type of role in this game?
I don't think they care too much because they have last pick, so they can still pretty much shuffle up their heroes if they really need to. I think the concern for Prodigy is simply neither team really has good lockdown. For Prodigy, you have Arena and you have Global. Again, obviously Global not being locked down, but it controls the fight to some degree. HellRaisers, on the other hand, they pretty much have one magical missile, and that's it. So
which is a very easy stun to dodge, right?
Yeah, so you have the thing where HellRaisers, they're going to have to do the whole give and take that we discussed. The fact that they're probably going to be on the back foot early on. Prodigy are going to own parts of the map, and they're going to have to rely on the PL having the items to bait out some of these early spells, and then it's going to be quite even.
That's an interesting point, though, right? Like this kind of give or take, Nicola, that they're going to have to give space to VP.Prodigy. I think Cinder and Hiltner, there's one thing that HellRaisers are very good at, is knowing when to cut their losses. But did we see that backfire in the last game where they were giving a little bit too much space over to VP?
I think touching on that game again, it's simply just the fact that you're pretty much missing one hero from your team, right? And you don't really get to play a game of Dota.
Isn't that the worry when you pick PL, or do you think he can be involved early enough?
PL can be involved. Like, if he gets an early defusal and his team can maybe bait out a Global, then he can join any fight he wants, because he will rip through these supports, and even Mars to some degree. But it's basically, if Global is up, he will not join the fight, he will farm. If Global is down, he'll fight. If he maybe gets an early Manta, then he'll be even happier to fight.
Then Hell's yeah.
Wait, on which hero were you referring to? To the Bat or to the Troll when you said you were missing a hero?
The Bat.
Okay, yeah. That's exactly what I thought about.
Okay.
Like the hero is just.
I think it's that comparative of like PL wants a bit of time before he starts to fight, right? Like he wants his first item. That's that classic hero. Leave me be, and then I'll join later.
I'm trying to think of the big brain play that HellRaisers could do, because they're normally known for their draft where maybe they just put like a cheeky little Kasani Venge mid. Rip through all these heroes with like minimal armor, gives them a hero to play behind, and then just pick up a strong
silencer.
Yeah, just batter him. Why not? I'm just going for it could happen in like a 2% situation, so I'm ready.
Oh, and it's most likely gonna happen. Or is this a mid-neck side?
I really hope it's a mid-venge.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
If it's all right, I've called it, lads. There you go. Let's put the iPad down. My worker is not. No, I'm joking. Because knowing the synergy of when I'd make a prediction and Cinderin being the analyst on the cast, I'm normally horrendously wrong. But I'm pretty confident in this one.
What I like is how he's usually quite kind of light on you. He doesn't.
Yeah, he's a nice chap. He's not as vicious as the other ones.
But this is a sick Nyx game. Like, when this Nyx gets a Yules, he's just destroying all of these heroes. His mana burn is going to destroy the Silencer. It's definitely going to destroy the Skywrath Mage, who doesn't even have 1,000 HP, right?
Oh god, yeah.
So, it's a really good pick.
Ooh.
The answer is the Monkey King, which
is it a good enough answer?
They've got 2 circles. Normally, when you get 3, it's an instant win. 2 yet to be proven as equally winning. But no, I just like the fact that you have... For HellRaisers, they're going to have a really strong timing of when PL has items, he's just going to dumpster everyone in this game. They do not kill a Manta Defusal +1 PL. And I think if the Venge is mid, he should be able to control the lane well enough and be able to play behind his Timber. Because that's the whole point of it, right? You want to be able to play behind Timber, and these 4 heroes have that skirmish ability to do that.
I'm still not 100% sure it's a Venge mid, right?
Maybe it...
It could be. It
No,
most likely is, but I'm still not 100% sure.
I don't know. But I'm just going to commit. I'm committing to it.
Definitely VP.Prodigy have a draft that's run at you, that we need to kill you. This Monkey should have a good lane. Silencer should have a decent lane, and they just need to run at them. On the other hand, HellRaisers, they need to enable the Timber so that he can create space for the PL. Are they going to be able to do that? I think so. So I'm going to go for HellRaisers.
Okay, well, my panel wasn't fully decisive because they don't know if it's a Venge middle yet. So let's just tune in with 2 lads who will have that info available. Is of course the final time this series. Sunsfan and Cinderin. Can you impart the knowledge upon them which they're using as a sorry excuse to back predictions that might be wrong later? Is it
Venge 5?
Venge 5.
No, Cinderin, don't say it. Don't say it, please.
Please, Cinderin,
It
go ahead.
was a really good idea, but you were wrong again.
Thank you. But no, I'll take it. He said it was a good idea, but I was wrong.
By
Who is
your
mid, by the way?
standards.
Who is mid?
It's Timber, probably Timber mid. But there
Boring.
is so the thing about this honestly is I don't know how good of a Timber game this is. Like
they've chosen to put it on Kasani. He played the Bat Rider last game. Now he's on Timber. And he has 2 core matchups that he can face. He can face Monkey King or he can face the Silencer. And I think both of those matchups are not particularly enjoyable for the Timbersaw mid. So that's one thing. That's the Monkey King lane. The other one is there's the whole Skywrath factor, right? This is a position 4 Sky who is able to roam on mid. And he can... I think roaming for Monkey King is one of the most rewarding things you can have on Skywrath. It's one of those heroes that you just need a little bit of push over the edge and you get big kills. So, in this series, for me, as far as the 2 drafts go, I think I like VP.Prodigy the most in this game. That doesn't mean that I think they're flat out just favored as a team, because I still think HellRaisers are better based on everything we've seen. But like, if
So
the
who are
last
you
game is
gonna
any
pick?
indication, I don't know. I feel like this one's almost a 50-50 for me. Like, it's really hard to have a
make
favorite.
a call.
Do I have
you
to
gotta be more
choose?
decisive. Of course you do. You can't be a wishy-washy guy. How about this? I'll pick whatever the opposite of what you pick is.
Oh, man, I
okay?
was going to say you pick first.
No. Your turn. This is DM third game in a row.
I'll take Prodigy. Let's go. Let's do it.
DPP
Yeah.
for Cinderin, HellRaisers
draft.
for me. Try not to be biased.
Yeah.
Try
I'll
not
try.
to all chat where the enemies are, to give away positions and whatnot, Cinderin. Yeah. Are you surprised in the 10 years that people have been cast, that's never happened?
The biggest thing we've had was a TI Finol paused the game, right? That's
Yeah.
a very memorable moment.
That was very memorable.
That was actually so funny.
And it was I don't know, I forget what the story was. It was a fat finger. Obviously, he wasn't trying to pause
Yeah,
it,
he
but-
was in the... I think, was he adminning or whatever, hosting the lobbies, I think, at the time, and he was sitting there watching, and he just pressed F9.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, he was probably trying to look at the stats, which is F8 or whatever it is. Like, why put it so close? You'd think they would have patch note that the next day, but
The big brain play is to instantly react to it and then write it off as something, because your valves, you're like, tech issue, right after you paused. He's like,
yeah. Well, he panicked and unpaused it like 5 seconds later, which made it orange.
It's like, what the fuck? The players just wrote question marks. Oh, it was great. Good times.
Yes, good old times.
Instant
What
D-word.
TI was that? Is that TI 4?
3, I want to say. I'm not
3.
sure, but it was the main event, I think, right?
No, it was TI 3 because I talked to him after. Yeah, I talked to him after Alliance 1. He was very happy that it was a good finals, that everybody would forget about his pause. So, yeah, good times
oh, look
with
at that. We still remember. So
it's
good.
gonna be,
well,
yes, please.
not good, but rather the big story of the game so far is a D ward in mid that Nyx got. Apart from that, nothing happened. 2 for 2 rune split, and the lanes will be Weaver Nyx bot, which is the default here, fighting into Silencer Oracle. That's a pretty strong lane, Silencer Oracle, actually, no joke. Unless you have very aggressive heroes, which they don't. So Roger's probably just gonna cut. Is he actually? He's trying to kill the courier again? No. Yeah, he placed the same ward 3 games in a row now.
Yeah, they haven't learned. Why not?
Well,
if it
we'll
ain't
see
broke,
if they
don't
learn
fix
this
it.
time.
He's gonna take
Top
some
lane.
damage here from Ein.
Venge PL is a pretty weak lane, though. I'm not a big fan of Venge 5.
Yeah,
I am... Like, I'm theoretically a fan of it because of the aura, but the laning stage just has been a mess for this hero. Now that denies are nerfed a bit and stuff, maybe it can make a little bit of a comeback, but yeah, Venge's laning is just not very great. And with a hero like PL, it's even worse. Their safe lane's just weak. That's all there is to it.
And you talked about the mid lane, Monkey King versus Timbersaw, though. How bad is it? I mean, obviously, we talked about this last game, Monkey King versus any melee. Will be very happy. The melee hero will not be. But Timbersaw, is there a little bit of an exception for him, considering he can get some regen at least, based on the fact that he can aggro the creeps?
It's definitely not the worst matchup Timber can have, but it's up there, especially in the start. You see FN having a huge advantage, 11 for 3 against 5 and 0. And it's just because the only way Timbersaw gets creeps in the mid lane is by meleeing them, right? He doesn't have any ranged spell that can get CS. And that means you're always going to be setting up the Monkey King to get Jingu stacks. And that's really what defines this lane is, can Monkey get Jingus? Because if yes, he will either get denies or kill you. First blood coming out. Unsurprisingly, it's on the 5 Venge.
You're really not a fan, huh?
It's just not strong. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
For now. It might get
Well, I think the
make big plays later.
obviously the magic missile is great and whatnot. Well, I don't know if great would be the right word. For me, it's mostly getting level 12 feels so important on Venge, right? Because the range on her swap is just garbage. Level 1, it's like
Yeah, it makes a big
very
difference,
hard
for
to
sure.
use. Bot lane, we're seeing a lot of right clicks going through. The swarm is on Oracle, and Ein is going to get destroyed. Good impale there from Roger. So you're saying that you like this Silencer Oracle lane versus the Weaver Nyx.
I think it's pretty good. Silencer's out of mana now, however. He's burned through his entire tank and hasn't sent down mangoes or clarities. Let's see if Oracle brings any. He has a couple of pick-me-ups, if that's what you call it, for the Silencer.
Sure, we can call it that.
Let's call it that. Yeah. Silencer Oracle against certain lanes will be really strong just because it's like constant ranged harass, right? It's something that Weaver doesn't particularly enjoy. But if Oracle does expose himself on level 1, he can obviously get killed off by the Nyx Weaver. You see the pressure coming out there. As to yield. And even though they do get the kill, you see it in the CS, right? Silencer 13 for 3, Weaver 7-0. He will now even pull to the hard camp. And Roger, it's also it tells a story whenever the 4 goes to pull the wave, right? It's usually a way of saying we don't feel strong in a heads-up fight, so we're going to pull instead. FN gets the solo kill mid.
Yeah.
This laning stage is
that's a big one.
stompy right now in terms of the CS. It's bigger than I thought it would be. And FN has been looking awesome on Monkey King as of late.
Yeah.
I think he's really put in the work to master this
bottom
hero.
lane, as we see this pause come through, Funnick is really low and has pretty much no mana to speak of. Actually, will have enough for Shikuchi
His
when it's back up.
mango.
He doesn't really need the mango, but
No. This is
3 mana
close. If he
away.
jukes well here, he could actually kill Aina. He gets a Geminate attack in 2 and
Is that your
a
prediction?
Shikuchi. Yes,
I think
let's
he's
say
gonna
that.
die. I think
He's
Funnick
gonna
dies.
kill him.
Oh boy. Okay. This
Okay, he
this
just
has gone
moved.
real south. This has gone very south for my prediction. Come the right clicks. Oh, it's getting close to 1v1 battle for the ages is won by Cinderin and
What the
Funnick.
horse?
Yes, that would have been a good what the horse actually. We should well, we can't reuse that, unfortunately.
Let's reuse it and see if we did it correctly again.
Yes. You're talking about the domination of Monkey King mid. It is yeah.
Utter.
27-11 versus 12-0. It's not even remotely close. Now, the question is, what do they do about this? Who can gank? Who can help him get back in this game?
You can't gank this mid lane until Timber's level 6.
You just got to stick it out, huh?
Yeah, kinda. That's why this Monkey King pick is so good in this game, is because nobody wants to lane against him. So they end up choosing, they're like, okay, what's the least bad we can do? I personally think they should have put Weaver mid in this game. I think this is worse than if Weaver is mid and Timber is off lane. And I know this Timber will be fighting into Silencer, which is not enjoyable. But I think the mid lane will go way better if it's a Weaver than if it's a Timber here. But it might be something like
bottom
player
lane,
preference.
epileptic kid. Oh boy,
Oh,
he gets
all
taken
right.
out by Funnick Shikuchi. So that's a positive note for Hellraisers.
Yeah, if Funnick
As
is
a-
owning this much, maybe it's okay. 3
Yeah,
kills,
they could
10
even out.
CS. That's kind of funny.
He's trying to keep it even, you know.
Yeah. He has
No,
a,
Nick's
he
in
has
the
a
top
killing
lane.
spree, and he is 6th on net worth as a core right
Yeah,
now.
makes a
in
lot
the
of
game.
sense, right? Yeah, that's always
That's-
frustrating when you play. You're just getting a bunch of kills and you're super underleveled or underfarmed, or whatever the case may be. It's not like the old days, which every game was a stomp. Top lane though, PL. Haven't really talked about him too much. 23-3 in the CS, so not doing great, but not getting mega stomped either. Miposhka is here with a magic missile, trying to cast it. Actually, has to use it on save, but it's just going to turn around into Miposhka's death instead. Very unfortunate for him. In the bot lane, I hear a last word being applied.
Yeah. Here comes Roger, right? Going for the 2-1-0 build. I like the mana burn point against Silencer. It's crazy value in the lane. I think it's one of the best heroes to mana burn just because of how much he relies on having a good mana pool to take engagements. Like, there's other heroes where it's like you mana burn them and they can still, you know, stand and do something. Silencer without mana is just shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he really needs it
Yeah.
non-stop. So just gonna burn him out every time he can. Should be another one coming out now. If Effie Kid walks in. Yep, there it is. Oh,
Oh,
fogged him for a moment.
Yes, the Fog of War is the friend of VPP today. Mid lane. Okay, Kasani's level 6. Doesn't have any mana to speak of. We'll be getting a soul ring here shortly.
Yep.
Monkey King will be difficult to kill.
Yep.
What hero is the bet? Well, what combinations do they have to even kill this guy at this stage?
Nyx level 6 or
Oh, so you have to wait for Nyx level 6 now.
Well,
by that point, Monkey King is going to be.
I mean, they
dumpstering
can
this mid lane
can
like
kill
none
the
other.
monkey with the level 4 Nyx as well, but it's just, can they get in there undetected? You see, there's already this prepped ward from VP.Prodigy. They have covering the bottom side of the river. So if Nyx wants to make this move, he needs to be smoked, or he'll never get in on him unnoticed. And even if he does, it's still a high-risk play in the sense that if they get Monkey down to like 5% but don't kill him, he
Top lane
doesn't
Pochka, by the
care.
way,
Oh my
able to be
God,
taken out
man.
again by DM. That is the 3rd death on your Vengeful Spirit position 5, which Cinderin is a big fan of, in case you weren't listening. Impale connects onto Ein. Will be going underneath his tier 1 tower. Will live, but just barely. But again, just more pressure being applied by HellRaisers in this bot lane only. The other 2 lanes are being lost in their own different ways.
Timber is on the road to recovery, though. It's not a good look to be 1k gold behind minute 8, but just the bigger picture here that he's now finally able to stand here, get creeps, push the wave, and get runes can open up for some potential here. You see him manning up against FN here.
He's manning up now. He's got
Monster
4
thing.
levels of reactive armor.
Yeah, he's got the
He's
region
not going
rune
to get
as
much
well.
tankier than this at this stage.
I've overstepped his
Jingo
boundaries
does
here.
proc again. Yeah, he's...
He has the
there's
region
no
rune,
boundless
so if he
strike for
does
5
get to
seconds.
reset, alright. Not bad.
He's going to do just
Force
that.
the TP in. Full-on regions up again.
Surprised that FN didn't go for a cancellation of that region. He had vision of him with that range creep there, but decided not to. Would have been...
He might have been worried of the turnaround potential. Like if you jump on top of Timbersaw there, he can Soul Ring and pop all his spells on you, and you can die. And
I
he
meant
is
not,
really
not trying to get the
valuable.
kill, but more just canceling the region.
Right. Oh yeah, he could have maybe
Definitely
just jumped on him and turned around. Yeah, possibly. He didn't have Boundless, so he has to hit the tree dance to cut it out.
Oh, there's 3 heroes bot
Sonic
now.
could be in
Save does
trouble.
have Ancient Seal. This is going to set up the potential kill onto the Weaver, but into the Global Silence, yeah, that had to be forced to be able to
Nice
get that, and they'll find it. So with that down, does Nyx try to get involved, or is he... He's going straight for Yasha, actually. Is it a Yasha into Diffusal? Is that what people are doing these days? And then into Manta after? Or is he actually
He
rushing
might
Manta?
rush Manta in this game. It's
What do you think
possible,
of that?
at least. It kind of comes down to whether they, first of all, whether they think they can fight, and secondly, whether they think they have to. If they think they have to fight, he may go Diffusal for that. But if they think, okay, we can stall, our Timber can delay, our Nyx can delay, at least the Yasha is a really good ramp-up item, and even a full Manta can be used to split push, farm harder. It's a more effective farming item than Diffusal by a good margin. So it's kind of a matter of what the big read is on the game from their side.
Top 3 net worths are on VPP's side.
Yeah.
Definitely a very... I mean, it's a 2k net worth lead this early. That's really good. We're going to see a smoke here on the Skyreth Monkey King combination. Looks like they're going for the Timber Sun for 4K Sani. Might be in a world of hurt again. There's the arena. Spear misses. I think they still find this kill, though, very easily. Yeah. It does take the
The
force.
TP in the silencer for a bit of brains.
Yeah, why not?
He
You
just
need the
arrived and he was
extra
like, oh, I learned a lot from that. And then he starts farming the wave. He didn't even
Dude.
attack the guy.
That voice, Cinder, that's a good... You should patent that character, whoever it is. Name it something. And make
It's
it your own.
Darkseer's cousin.
Alright, we can work with that, I guess. Another silence onto the Nyx assassin this time. And VPP finding another kill on the map.
They're rolling.
Yeah, they're doing great. Save is out of mana, so no real kill potential onto Funnick, and he's very aware of that. Top lane. Looks like Pochka is going to find DM with Kaisani's help. Can they actually get this kill?
Nice last word.
Doesn't look like it. And DM is going for his patented Blink Dagger. It's only his, by the way. He's the only one that came up with this build onto the Mars. But I feel like the thing I love about him, though, is he is so aggressive once he gets that that Blink Dagger. I feel like a lot of people are a little bit more calculated, and not to say that he's not calculated, but it just feels like
He's
his
confident.
aggression it just takes over him. He's like a wild beast.
Unleashed.
Berserker mode activated.
Mars
Viking of
Unchained.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
That's great.
Mipochka, use your superior Venge position 5 powers.
Oh,
To stay
all
alive.
right. There's the spear into Mystic Flare, and bye-bye Vengeful Spirit.
It did
That
not
was
work.
a singular tree. Good aim. Down
Yeah.
the iron sights for DM that time around, Cinderin. Top lane.
They actually gonna run him down here.
FN and Epileptic. Chasing down Kaysani. Weaver does have a swarm on both of them. Well, actually, time-lapse before that Boundless Strike connects.
Yeah, if that strike connects, they might global and kill him. So that was a good decision from Funnig, I think. Get back out in time. In the meantime, while all this is happening, the PL is just farming. They're not really addressing Nyx, but they're addressing the rest of the map, and that's good enough for now. But there is obviously a little bit of a time bomb there that this is a good PL game eventually. Monkey King can be a bit of a nuisance, but outside of that, I think he's very happy with his matchups this game.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Manta obviously going to be very important. That's when he feels a lot more comfortable going into the global silence. I mean, they have 2 silences though. So is there any other itemization? Like, I don't remember the last time I've ever seen BKB. Do you just get tanky at that point and try not to worry about it?
On which hero, sorry? What did you say again?
PL Manta taking off 2 silences.
Yeah,
Do you
I think,
itemize it any differently, or you just get tanky after the Manta?
I think
Manta
Manta
Diffusal.
Diffusal, and then in this game, I think Butterfly might be good. There's a PL is not exactly my forte when it comes to like carry builds, because I know there's like multiple options that people go. Sometimes they go Heart, sometimes they go Butter, sometimes they go Abyssal. And I'm not completely sure what the carry players are looking for every time, because all of those items are almost always good, right? But like in this game, for example, the Butterfly is nice because Silencer doesn't want to buy MKB, nor does the Monkey King really, but he might have to in that sense. I think Scotty is probably the weakest out of the 3 for this game. It's not. You could say it's nice against Monkey King, but he has Oracle. I think he's going to heal anyway and stay alive.
I mean, either way,
So.
Scotty would never be like 3rd item though, right? Or very rarely.
It'd
be later down the line.
In the past, there were builds with PL going Manta Diffu into Scotty for sure.
Ooh, global silence.
For what? Did they?
Well, bot
they
lane, I
saved
can't
DM, I
tell if
guess?
it was for the top or bot lane. Yeah, DM was saved.
saved
I don't know
DM.
if he was dead though to begin with, but yeah, tough to grasp exactly. Funnick has the double damage right now. So for the offlane Weaver treads, how early do you go for Ags on the offlane Weaver? Oh, Nyx Assassin, hold that thought, Cinderman, Doppelganger,
Saves in
Nyx
trouble.
Nyx Assassin, Nyx himself will be brought down by FN. And Skywrath in the meantime, looks like DM popped his ult. They're able to find a 1-for-1 trade here. Trying to go for this
Venge
bounty
dive.
rune will be successful.
As usual.
And he'll attempt to TP out. Oh! He got it. Top lane though, Ein gets broken by Vendetta with that amazing passive that Oracle definitely possesses, guys. Don't look it up on the wiki. And they find the... No, they're not going to be able to get the tier 1 though, as Epileptic chases them off.
It's calming down a little bit though, and not in terms of the number of kills, right? There's plenty of action happening in that sense, but just considering how explosive VP.Prodigy were in the start, they're not building their advantage. Like the game is kind of stabilizing a little bit. They had a 2k gold lead 6 minutes ago, and it's still there. So they've plateaued a little. And if you're HellRaisers, you should be happy with that, because you know that your PL timing
Top
is
lane,
takes time here. Yep.
Kaysani's dead. I think.
Yeah,
I'm fairly sure he's dead. Fairly sure.
I don't think he could have survived any longer than that. I see that little corner bought him like 5 seconds.
Epileptic. Oh, he went Midas, by the way. Did you see that?
Just now.
Midas. I can't remember the last time I've seen this item picked up ever. Even in a pub, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Midas is pretty damn rare right now.
Wow.
So the case to be made on Silencer is that he really wants the attack speed, and he doesn't have good flash farming capabilities. The hero as a carry just doesn't clear creep waves very well. So this is one way for you to stay on par with other cores. It's just the Midas
Don't
factor.
you just get a Maelstrom then? I mean, you're playing the PL as well. Timbersaw Mars ult into everything,
He
literally
got the
everything.
swap off though. That was nice.
Oh, you're right. Venge is the one that died.
He's gonna die
Nice
anyway,
save.
so I might as well save
Cost
someone.
them so many. That's a good point. Kaisani taking advantage of his full life here.
Oh, last word. Oh, nice spear.
Spear into the wall. Funnick is dead despite having time lapse up. He's just stunned out of it.
I wonder when this
VP can
thing
take
with
this
Mars
tower
is
now.
gonna get fixed. It's so weird.
Is it the flying thing?
No, the thing where you interact with Bulwark and you just get these like weird spear angles where you're looking in the opposite direction that you're spearing. It makes it extremely difficult to predict and dodge what Mars
I
is doing because he can kind of face any way and spear out of his butt if he wants. It's really strange.
Ambidextrous is both hands. What is butt exactly? I don't know. We'll find out next time on this episode of Roger's Dead.
That's a show I don't really want to watch very much, actually.
You don't watch anything. Shut up, Cinder. God,
God, that's pretty.
watch
harsh.
some TV for God's sake. Please. I beg of you. This
Maybe
is where I
next.
get an email saying, Suns fans too mean to Cinderin. Cinderin.
I'm
please."
actually really hurt right now. I'm only staying in the cast for professionalism.
Yeah. It's even worse when my girlfriend literally thinks that I'm too mean to you. And I have to come to you and apologize, and you tell me I'm an idiot for thinking that I offended you.
Like, she said I'm too harsh to you. What do you think? Like, no.
Mars ult, a nice time lapse out of it, but Nyx Assassin will find his way to Death's Door. Yeah, good
Diffuse
time lapse
online.
out.
So step number 1. So he bought the fighting item. Let's see if they're going to use it. If he doesn't start fighting with this diffusal, he could have bought them in opposite order. Got the Manta for better wave clear, more farm efficiency, but this way there is the possibility of fighting back. And I think that has value. It doesn't mean it's his go-to plan right now. I think if he has the choice, he would rather not fight at all until he has Manta. But he recognizes that he might not fully be in control of whether that becomes a necessity or not. So this way, at least the bases are covered. Should it come to a fight, he can help. And fighting around Global Silence, like the panel talked about, when Global is down, HellRaisers actually have really good opportunities to fight. It frees up their PL to do a lot of damage. It frees up their Weaver. It frees up their Nyx, who, by the way, has a Meteor Hammer. Not sure if we mentioned that. It's completed.
Oh, very nice.
And got the Philosopher's Stone to boot.
Classic.
Awesome item on Nyx. It's one of the best heroes in the game to get Philly Stone on. He wants the max mana. He doesn't want to hit any creeps, more or less.
What about
any
the
time,
Vendetta
so-
attack speed, Cinderin?
It's
That's
attack
rough.
damage, Shannon, not attack speed.
Oh, that's right. No, I'm sorry.
They didn't
I'm a
change
noob.
that. It's the Craggy code that has attack speed.
I play Valorant, guys. Just so
I
you
know.
Professional Valorant player here.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Roger?
the dust onto Roger. It's
sick
just
jukes.
the Sky and DM right now. There's the blink. Actually fakes the spear. Very nicely done.
He might. Oh, they have a second dust. Okay.
He is definitely. Oh, okay. The little counter intuitive there, but they find it, so that's fine. So Nyx himself. Actually, it's gonna be kind of awkward calling this guy Nyx, considering there's a Nyx assassin. But the PL player today, he's relatively close to Manta, so I think now you don't fight, right?
I'm honestly the last 5 minutes for HellRaisers haven't been that bad. They keep hemorrhaging kills here or there, but it's on low value targets. It's the Nyx who has 4 deaths. It's the Venge that has 6. So that's 10 out of their 16 deaths are on the 4 and 5. Meaning, the PL gets away with 1 death. Oh, Timber's in trouble. That's a bigger kill. He has no mana.
Yes.
That's a big
I
one.
mean, Glaives of Wisdom are pretty good against him.
Yeah.
If you can lock him down a little bit.
It's time to get some
Absolutely
permanent
no mana.
Insta-Steel talent now in Silencer, I believe. He hasn't chosen
yeah,
yet. There
that's
it is.
right. He has 12 int right now. So an extra +2. You know, I remember a game, I don't know if it was TI. It might have been TI, where Kyle was playing position 5 silencer. And he had like 20 int at like the 10-minute mark. Do you
You
remember
sure
that
that
game?
wasn't No-Tail? There was a No-Tail game with insane int on Silencer. Kyle might have had one as well. There's a No-Tail one I remember. But now that you say it, Kyle might have had a game as well with like early insane int.
Global Silence has popped here just to save his own life
himself,
here.
yeah.
Very
Okay,
selfish use.
That is actually a pretty big moment of opportunity. If PL can somehow get this Manta within the next minute, which he should, he's 450 gold away. There's a crazy timing here for them.
Yeah.
The Manta reveal plus Global Sound's cooldown will actually make me favor HR in that fight coming up. If they get to take the jump with Nyx plus Venge, they could make a really big play. Roger's even backdooring the top tier 1 as Nyx. He will kill this off.
He got it.
That will give him his Manta and 40 gold now for the PL. It's now ready. Let's see if they do something here. Is the smoke ready? It is.
Out of everything in this game, Cinder, I'm just interested in Epileptic Kid's build after this Manta. So went Shadowblade, is going Hurricane Pike now.
Yeah.
Does he? I mean, I don't think Silver. What does Silver Edge even do this game? It's reactive armor. It's not even that good if he already has stacks.
I guess against PL, does it break? I'm actually not completely. I mean, either way, it doesn't.
From being created.
It doesn't matter that much. I think he's just gonna play around it regardless. I don't think Silencer's job in this game is to counter PL. He needs to counter the rest of the team, and Monkey King and Mars need to take care of PL. I think if Silencer starts itemizing against this PL, it will turn out to be a mistake. So I think this Shadowblade Pike is just strictly, okay, how can I kill other heroes?
Right.
PL is your problem, guys. Because, I mean, it's also his problem. He doesn't want to get on top of, get PL on top of him, but he can't deal with it.
You got to trust your teammates at some point in the game, Cinder. That's absolutely the beauty of Dota. The beauty and the horror.
No sentry placed. They don't know they're coming.
They sure don't. Well,
he is dead.
Curse is there. Yeah. Let's look at his int grow. 12 to 16.
That's 4.
That's right. He just took an accelerated course on how to build int. AKA watched Purge's channel or something. I don't know.
That's a shortcut to losing whatever you gained over the years, I think.
Funnick did finish the Aghanim Scepter, so he did rush it.
There's global ready bottom for Epi.
Yes.
They waited maybe a bit too long.
Ancient Seal.
Oh, he's still dead.
They're not going to have to use it, it looks like. Oh, they do get it.
Damage.
And that is another 4 int for Epileptic Kid. So yeah, not having to use the global silence is a big deal.
Look at the gold of the game. Like in the last 10 minutes.
19 to 5. What the heck?
In the last 10 minutes of the game, Prodigy have got like 9 kills and HR have got 0. And the gold is still not moving.
Yeah.
They're still getting really good farm out of the map with their PL as well as their Timber, and Weaver is getting some as well. So now the question is, okay, can you turn this into something big now or not? Global is ready.
And that's with a Midas. I mean, they grew it a bit. It's 3k now, Cinder.
Yeah.
It's low.
It's like swinging in that 2 to 4k mark. It's been doing so the whole time. They haven't got over the 4k. Considering how many kills they're getting, the map is still HR are mining pretty well.
Save almost has his Rod of Atos, which will take that hero, Skywrath Mage, to the next level. Epileptic Kid rounding out. Oh, they're actually going to find a Nyx Assassin. And that could be a freebie. I believe, yeah, the dust did connect. And down he goes. So 25. I'm just going to say this every single time, even in the middle of team fights. 24 int stolen now for Epileptic Kid. I'm going to interrupt like whatever I'm saying if there's a kill.
This Skywrath is 9, 1, and 7. And gets a 25-minute Atos.
Yeah.
He has 12 CS. He hasn't hit creeps. So, and kills are not worth so much right now. So
I really don't like that.
The Atos?
Spear on PL. Not able to really follow it up with anything, though. They missed the Chakram. FN is here. There's a global silence to follow, but he's... Actually, Manta was used already. Okay, they do find the kill.
Now we're talking.
That's a big kill. Yeah, that is a big objective. The Phantom Lancer has died, who is still the top net worth, but not for long.
Funnick is instantly going to start wave clearing mid, but Epic Kid is on it and will stop this wave from dying. So they have a little bit of momentum going mid.
This feels a bit like last game now, right? You got
a bit, yeah.
The position 1 that they're putting all their eggs in the basket of. They're creating as much space as possible. He dies.
Can carry this game, especially when Weaver or Venge get 1 defensive item to break global silence. Funnick is queuing up Lotus Orb right now, so he can Lotus himself and then Ag Scepter ult the PL. But the global silence is really the key spell of this game right now. It's been enabling to make almost every single of the big moves they've made has been because of global. It's countering this out really nicely. These 2 saves of the Dire are just not useful against it right now. But what usually happens to Silencer later in the game is that once players start being able to counter out the global, you have a tendency to fall a bit flat.
Oh. All right, he swapped himself, actually.
So dead
Pushka will die. Mars ult is here. And it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade for the Skywrath Mage to start this. Wukong's command inside the Mars ult. The arena of Wukong, some can call it. Funnick does have time-lapse available. They see him, though. It's going to be hard to get out of this. Time-lapse is nice and pale onto the Monkey King. They're going to find Ein, so it's a 2-for-1. And FN getting very, very low. This is just the Aegis, but he is completely surrounded. Not sure DM can even save him here. He's going to jump in, try to sacrifice himself, try to mitigate a little bit of damage as FN has to pop the BKB, and he wants to fight.
He didn't get the
getting bashed here. 3 for nothing in here for HellRaisers as Roger's going to get a Meteor Hammer out of the Mars, creating as much space as possible. Epileptic Kid, no int for you.
DM
and
got
that is
cancel on
a
his TP.
4 for nothing.
Oh, he got weaved.
He's dead. He is...
He could buy a lot of time here. They didn't see him. He might live.
He does have TP. No,
okay, really key moment for HellRaisers here. Silencer TP'd top and could not connect to this fight.
Oh,
and they stuck around. This was a 5-on-4 for a good 30 seconds before Epileptic Kid finally arrived. And when he arrives, it's too late. That's their first major strategic miscue in this game, and it might end up costing them more than it would seem. Like,
TM is still here.
Even if it's only 2k gold, it's the fact that PL is closing in on a game-changing item, and that Weaver survived the whole ordeal and might get a Lotus Orb in the next 3 minutes. The outcome of the game is really about these key items coming in for Weaver and PL. I think that matter more than anything else. The Lotus Orb is the biggest item of the game. Oh, might die here. Good damage from save. Jesus.
Is dead. Nice.
It's a big one.
Solo kill. Yeah.
Delay that Lotus. Big kill.
I mean, he'll get it in the next, 5-6 minutes, though.
That's a long time compared to 2 minutes.
True.
It's 3 times
get
as
it.
long.
It is. That's good math. Thank you, Sim.
Yes.
We got
I don't think
Titan Sliver.
I don't think Prodigy will make this mistake again. I think if they have to do side lane clearing, maybe the logic is, well, we can put our Silencer there because he can just still global, right? But first of all, I think global might have been on a short cooldown when all this happened. But even if it wasn't, it's a big part of your damage that's missing. The issue is your support duo are trash at clearing creep waves. Both the Oracle and the Skywrath don't do a good job at it, and you definitely want the Mars in the fight. So who goes on trash duty when it's time? That is a little bit of an issue their lineup has. When it's time to clean up, who do you send there?
VPP does get both outposts. 30-minute mark, not the biggest of deals, but not...
No.
It's still
minor
nice.
win. Yep.
And it looks like the bounties will be split completely. We talked about the itemization, not only from the Silencer, but Monkey King has to itemize against the PL, so finishes the Mjolnir.
Yeah, that's good.
We'll probably want to fight fairly soon here.
Not sure how much I like
there's a point where PL just becomes unstoppable, even against any of these heroes, right?
It's manageable, but yeah, there probably is a point where he becomes a really, really big problem. I would agree with that. We're still far away from it. I think Prodigy have a good chance for quite a long time, but yeah, if we say 20 minutes from now, I'm really worried about this PL for the Radiant side. It eats Silencer. Silencer Core does not have a chance in this matchup. Mars eventually struggles a lot, especially with defensive item build. He has Crimson Guard, so he's not going to do damage. So it's on the Monkey King. Goes without saying, both of the supports are terrible against PL as well. So it is a really good pick and a really good.
It feels like every hero in the entire game is bad against PL these days, but that's just me. Quickening Charm. You put that on the Skywrath, who is very squishy, by the way, has the -3 armor from the Nether Shawl, which brings it down to a grand total of 1 armor. As if you weren't squishy enough.
I mean, when your armor is that low, do you really have it?
That is the
does he even should he even care about armor? I think he shouldn't. Buy a Ghost Scepter so you get infinite armor for 4 seconds, and after that you're just dead, right? Does not.
The rest of the stats from Nether Shawl are actually insane. Though.
That's super good on
25%
this
magic
guy.
resist, 8%
Absolutely.
spell damage.
I would 100% agree with him carrying it. That's the best item he has in the game right now.
So who's taking Quickening Charm? Is it in the shop? No one wants it.
is.
I like that item.
Put him
I mean, if
on.
it's going to be anybody, it would have been the silencer, but he wants to go more right click with the orb, which makes sense, of course. Depends on how much you value the global silence.
I think you should
Let's take
put
the
an
attack
Oracle.
range.
It's better than Broach. Like 25 move speed is nice though, but still I think Quickening Charm is probably better overall.
Well, speaking of the Oracle, has the Glimmer Cape. Doesn't look like they're actually going to be finishing, even trying to go for a Spirit Vessel. Does that surprise you at all? Has 8 charges on his urn as well. My goodness.
It's not. They're not going to use it offensively anymore. I think the Timber naturally in this game will counter itemize it anyway because he needs a Dispel against Silencer. It's too expensive on Oracle compared to other items. You're also rarely in a good position with Oracle to use it offensively to begin with, right? You want to stand behind the fight and save your allies. If you go in and start using offensive vessels, you can get killed really easily. So, on this hero in particular, I'm a big fan of not upgrading it. He gets the urn just so he can heal more on his ult, and that's it.
All right, what are your thoughts on Nyx? He has the Manta Diffusal and now has finished his Abyssal Blade. He had Basher in that one fight.
Yeah.
That was kind of the debut of that item, I believe.
Blade.
Going for a Shadow Blade, though.
Satanic.
Did he change it?
Yeah, right when you clicked away.
Excellent. So
there's
not
a
a
case for
Shadow
both.
Blade.
There's the case for both items. The Shadow Blade allows him to try to find the Oracle or the Skywrath and just burst and start the fight. I think he decided against it because he already has Nyx and Weaver in his team. It's like, okay, detection is too much value.
Yes.
They're gonna have sentries everywhere. Let me just make myself more sustainable. This Satanic will allow him to survive through even a strong combo of Mars Arena into the Skywrath ults. He'll probably be too tanky and then heal it back up. I think Satanic's Satanic or Battle or Butterfly were probably the two best choices here.
All right, well,
Overall.
Funnick does have his Lotus now, my friend. So he's going to feel super comfortable being able to take off the silence, which means PL can go pretty much as ham as he wants.
I really like
lapse.
HR's chances in this game now. I think they got over the hardest part. Somebody will be struggling for all of the game, though. Mr.
Position
Mitoshka.
5 Venge is dead again, Cinder.
Yep. It's not the end of the world.
28 int, by the way, an epileptic kid.
It's true. If Silencer keeps getting int from all the kills, it starts mattering. But Venge
Silencer
still clearly has
infinitely
enough for dealer
scales.
power. So
If this game goes 2 hours,
he does
can
not
have
infinitely
3,000
scale.
int.
He does not.
It's infinite.
It
the
is
amount
not.
of numbers.
Who can scale
They're gonna find
infinitely in
Roger.
the game? Slark and Pudge, right? Nobody else.
They find them. Try to make that as hyped as possible for you, Cinder, because I know that you need it in your life right now.
No, seriously, are there any other heroes that can scale indefinitely except Pudge and Slark? There's not, right?
I can't think of any.
So the reason Silencer can't scale infinitely on Silence or in Int is because he can't steal more intelligence than the target has. So eventually the enemy
What
team
was the
runs out
game
of
we were
base.
casting? It was who was it?
OG
It was
Seed had a
Seed.
clockwork with 3 at the end of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he killed him one more time, he would have stolen 3, I think. From that
Wasn't
kill.
it in Dota 1? Wasn't it infinitely scaling where it didn't matter when you
don't-
ran out of mana?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Because the priority was getting int versus stealing it necessarily. I don't know. It's interesting.
It could be.
Definitely a change that needs to be made so that Silencer can join the club of infinite scaling. Very important. More important than the 20% nerf to all talents.
Oh, he just got a
my
Satanic out of nowhere. He just conjured it out of thin air. The PL. He bought the Reaver like 1 minute ago, it feels like.
Yeah, it was a very short time ago.
Oh, he
EM.
missed.
Impale misses.
This could
They
still
might
be a
chase
kill
here.
though if he's quick on the Abyssal.
Oh yeah,
He is.
He's
dead.
very.
He won't
dead.
even need to use
There
it.
are some teammates here,
he will.
but they don't have a position 5 Venge to help out Cinder, and you get it? value. Position 5 Venge here.
Oh,
Funnick,
the spider
man.
legs.
Yeah, the spider legs are really good. They forced the BKB on FN, and now they can just back.
BKB and buyback. And oh, this is so good from HR. Really nicely done from Funnick there.
Great bait.
You gotta love spider legs on Weaver Man. You're so fast with Shukuchi. Weaver Man kind of sounds like an interesting superhero actually. You just run out over the cliffs, get really quick info. It's super difficult for the enemy team to stun you. And like that, even forcing the monkey BKB was a bonus.
This just feels not fair. Like, there's certain neutral items that just don't feel fair when okay, we're gonna talk about that in just a minute. Mars ult comes out, Arena. This is like last game, just gets 2 people stuck in there, but 0 follow-up whatsoever. Mystic
good
Flare,
swap
nice
from
swap.
Venge.
Position 5 Venge is gonna get time lapse, so everyone is safe and dandy. Cinderin, Oracle, not so much because he's on the other team of the position 5 Venge, and Silencer is forced to global silence, but he gets swapped. The Lotus Orb taking off the silence, and that is huge. Uses the global silence and the BKB to get out and still dies. Time lapse. Lotus Orb.
HellRaisers.
Good game.
That's it. It's just the timing, man. They get the items that they need, and now they identify how strong they are. Textbook stuff from HellRaisers. They weathered the storm for 25 minutes, and now they have 2 Lotus Orbs, Avenge with more than level 1 swap, specifically level 2. And yeah, now it's difficult to see the silver lining here for Prodigy. You just lost Roche. There's an Aegis cheese on this one. Weaver will take the cheese. How do you kill PL twice when he has Satanic?
I mean, I was
not liking the chances
orgasming
right now.
over the Illusionist Cape, by the way. Like, literally the best Illusionist Cape here.
Super
in the game,
good on
probably.
PL.
Good God. I couldn't have asked for a better one. So that is...
Oh, how about an Illusion Rune on top of it?
Oh, sure. Why not? Illusion Rune is temporary, Cinderin. The neutral item is forever until you replace it.
Yes.
Tier 2 tower will be taking some damage and will likely fall unless there's some sort of a defense. But without Global Silence, I highly doubt they're even going to come close to these towers. Both of them, in fact.
If there is one Lotus Orb in range of the Venge at all times, nobody in their team is likely to die. They can always... Venge can swap, and if they global, they instant Lotus the Venge, and then they swap. And then they Lotus the Weaver, and then they time-lapse the Venge. And everybody stays alive. It is dirty and sexy. It is the kind of stuff we like to see in Dota.
Wow.
That's
This
my
just
fetish.
got
Double
rated
save.
R. Now we know what you like, Cinder, and you need to keep that stuff a little bit private, at least. To have a little shame in your life.
Special treat. Oh,
Miposhka. Oh, time lapse. Back to safety. That's the way to save your position 5 Vengeful Spirit that has Tranquil Boots and a wand.
it's crazy
He
how
has
much,
died 9 times.
how valuable this Venge suddenly got, right? It got insanely valuable because they got a Lotus on another hero. Yeah, he hasn't really progressed himself. He's just got a couple of levels, but their lineup is really coming together now. They got to the point that they needed to, and now that everything is there, you can just see the beauty of the strategy of having these 2 saves with Lotus against Silencer. It's crazy good.
Pretty freaking good. Magic Lamp on... that's actually a really good item for Funnick. Even though the spider legs are really good, this will essentially... I mean, when he gets below 20% HP, he gets some HP burst, and he gets Dispelled. So another Dispel for Silence, in theory, if they somehow find what they need.
Arena.
And it looks like they're going to go all in on this Timber Saw. They were going to find it, but the time lapse again. Talk about one of the best Aghanim Scepter ever created. My God, this thing is value. Jesus.
And in the meantime,
bad.
PL is just pushing bot. And he
Yeah.
gets the jump on the Monkey King. Is there going to be a swap? No. No offensive swap. They're thinking about it. But they don't need to. They
They can
simply
slow
just
play everything.
keep-
As long
Absolutely.
as Weaver's in the back.
Yeah. Having a laugh at that.
No, they were chasing somebody. Epileptic is actually just shadow blading up to the top lane, and they're giving up this Rex completely. Question is, what are they waiting for? I guess the Mars ult, 15 seconds, so they will probably try to make a last-ditch effort to defend here in the mid lane, but I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
what
rough.
you do to counter time lapse when you have all these dispels now, in form of things that you can buy and neutrals that drop randomly from creeps.
Usually the way you can get around something like this against Weavers, you have any sort of targeted stun or a hex, and the person with that item gets the designated job of finding Weaver. But yeah, they don't have it. They actually just don't have the solution.
This is the smoke. MKB is finished on Monkey King, fitting the lore perfectly, trying to do as much damage as they can. I highly doubt they even have buybacks at this point. Monkey King definitely does not. But then again, PL doesn't either, but I don't think he's dying anytime soon, especially with that Aegis. Now he's level 25, went for the Doppelganger talent, so will be even harder to kill. Here comes the Mars. He gets stunned instantly, pops the BKB. Miposhka was going to be deleted, but again, the time lapse comes through. FN pops the BKB. In the meantime, they're trying to go on top of Nyx. Here's the Wukong's command. Looks like they'll finally find somebody in this engagement, but will it be enough? Timbersaw, he is at half health, but still looking very healthy now as Nyx jumps in, still with that Aegis as the Wukong's command ends. Epileptic Kid already used the global silence, and the pause comes out. Kale. So lag. Shout out to
DAC.
DAC, where that was first introduced into my vocabulary.
2015, I think.
It's been a while. Yeah, the original DAC. And with this, I mean, there's just nothing they can do. It just feels like it's impossible now. All their spells are down. They're going to get the silence onto the Timbersaw. DM's going to
that's
jump
the start.
in. Nice.
Oh,
okay, the time lapse. When in doubt, Syndra, just remember this time lapse.
Cheese as well.
Right?
Well, they did defense again. Both Cheese and Aegis are gone now, so that's 2 of their 17 saves lost. So now if you can counter the remaining 15, you're fine.
Yes. Now, how safe do you play this if you're HellRaisers? Do you actually wait for the next Roche, or do you feel confident enough to keep going? You know Global Silence is still down.
Yeah, with Global down, I think you can definitely hit the high ground here with Peel. You know you got the guaranteed time lapse, you've got the Weaver behind, or the Venge behind. He's also the 25 talent on Peel to make things worse. That's another save in a way. So, yeah. I'd like to see him hit high ground while Global is on cooldown, but he doesn't have to. The beauty of this is that the game doesn't really get harder unless something like a Hex comes out for the Radiant, but since the sounds are... Well, it's actually semi-close, I guess. We're trying to lay into him a little bit. Yeah, that's not going to
the Manta. He actually pockets his...
Oh my god, that damage.
For the leveler.
Oh my... Please don't tell me he's dying.
Yes.
Okay.
Skywrath Mage to Illusions. Well, I've never seen this before. It's almost like PL is a really good hero against almost every single support in the game. Craziness. All right, Global Silence is coming off cooldown.
Oh, wait, what?
Seconds. What? They find him some way, somehow. Weaver is not getting tipped after this game because of that death, Cinder.
Damn.
They're going to find a Vengeful Spirit as well. All right.
Mars jumped in and caused chaos. I think Weaver got scared. I can't check an instant replay, obviously, but I think the Weaver got intimidated by Mars, and then the exact same time... They got no, but wait, the Mars speared in the PL, right?
I think he blinked in and speared him away into their base. He
speared the PL into the racks, right? So Weaver has nothing to be afraid of. He can instantly Shikuchin and save the PL. I don't know how that happened, but I don't think it should have. But that's one of the things we've talked about this many a time by now. When you're behind, you got to take risks, and that was a play. DM just went for it. He's like, maybe it's gonna work, and sometimes it does. So. That's pretty big. Unfortunately, Stave just gets soloed now by Roger on the Nyx Assassin. That's obviously an awesome matchup. Yeah, but I'm still shocked they managed to kill the PL like that. Both the Venge and the Weaver, neither of them able to save the PL there without Global being used. You'd think one of them at least could react in time, but...
Yeah, and I think even though they still have control of this game, HellRaisers probably waits for Roche anyway now. I mean, not that far away. Just a few minutes of more farming, map control, etc., etc. The well, Funnick doesn't. He does have 3K. I wonder what his next item is going to be here.
With this blink, he has a save range of effectively 2200.
Oh, okay.
So that's about as far as a Marana arrow can travel.
Wow, that's very specific.
Isn't that 2500?
I don't know. There's no Marana in the game. Who cares? What kind of comparison is that?
3000. Okay, my bad.
It's like the range of Axe's left butt cheek. He's not in the game. Okay, that's
That
actually
is-
more interesting than Mirana arrow range.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Chat will back me up. Knowing chat and their priorities, I'm pretty sure they'll back me
Yeah.
up on this one thing.
Probably. 1 minute to Roche. You play this now if you HR. Play the area. Push the lanes. You know mid and bottom will push in for you all the time. You can send PL Illusionist Cape down mid every 30 seconds to just deal with that lane. And build a stronghold here on the high ground of the Radiant. If they get control of this area for HR, the game becomes very simple to play. You can simply stay up there with all 5 heroes all the time and keep pushing the mid wave in with illusions. And it feels like Prodigy will have to make a move on you. They have to find a backstab angle or somehow steal the Roche away from you, something like that. Or you just go high ground. Okay. You're like,
Yeah,
we're not
they're
going to make that
feeling
mistake
confident
again.
still.
They're forcing them
So
back.
he was,
I don't think
he
they're
was
committing.
pocketing his illusion escape for the leveler, but he's not doing that here. Nyx Assassin has an Ags, but I don't know if you mentioned that. That is
Nope, that's new.
there. He's going to be.
Most
they do have
beautiful little molehill.
silences.
Nope, they're trying for the angle.
Oh, they sure are. This is
There's
a good
the Hex
attempt here.
reveal.
There's a global silence. Timbersaw is very, very low. PL gets the doppelganger off. Where's the Weaver and his ult? I'm not sure I've seen it used yet. It's still on off cooldown. He's probably saving it for the PL here. It's a 2-for-2. Buybacks are coming back though. Nyx, there's the time lapse. He's getting pretty low. He dodges the spear, attempting to run away. Doppelganger up in 2 seconds. He's actually getting focused down. Triple kill for FN. And despite the buyback on Vengeful Spirit, who hasn't even gotten back in the fight yet, Funnick did get the time lapse eventually, but it didn't save his life at the end of the day.
They're finding the moves. See, this is what I mean. When you're the Radiant here, this attack from Prodigy should never be allowed to happen. Didn't they just walk up the stairs and attack them from the right? I think
Yes.
so. And the Dire win a stronghold position here. You need to be really attentive about covering the right angles. Man, I can't believe they're actually making a comeback in this game right now. That's a
And they
big
bought back
buyback.
on PL. They want this
Oh,
Roshan
boy.
real
This is
bad.
not over yet.
Yeah, DM very low on mana. All right, pops a bunch of mangoes. When in doubt, just eat some fruit and you'll be good to go. Don't worry
That's
about
great
the
life
aftermath.
advice. I appreciate that.
I'm glad you do.
Just eat some fruit.
What do you think of Nick's Ags, by the way? If it feels so good sometimes, and other times it just really does. I mean, they have a lot of silences, so he just gets stuck inside like his
Yeah,
burrow.
exactly. I think
The
maybe he
lotuses
should have
and
bought a
all that
lotus.
are on like other heroes, right? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
He could have bought
He's a
another
lotus
lotus.
himself.
I wouldn't mind. Oh, spear opening on Miposhka.
Mars jumps in. Oh, the damage! Woo, doggy! The Vengeful Spirit gets
That Monkey King
decimated.
Rapier is no
Epileptic
joke.
Kid pops the BKB. Roshan is at half HP. Doesn't look like they're going to go for it. Roger's going to be the next focus here. A 2-for-0. This is a 3v5 now. Things are falling apart for HellRaisers. The time lapse keeps Kesani alive for now. Here comes Nyx. Jumps in with that Abyssal Blades. Deletes the Oracle, who buys back swiftly. Roshan still is available to take, but nobody's going to focus on him. When Nyx is at half HP, the Lotus Orb is applied. Monkey King. Oh, they almost chopped him down off his tree.
He needs
has
to not a
die
with his
divine
rapier. He can't lose
Rapier,
the
by
tree.
the way.
Okay, he's fine.
Yeah, they're going to create enough space here. It's still a 5v3. They can get Roche now. Their base is getting pushed by these super creeps. They have to be very careful. Of course, the two dead on HellRaisers have no buyback at all. And this Divine Rapier is going to work now.
Yeah, they're
Not gonna
running
have
out of
much
mana
mana to
though. That's
speak
the
of,
problem. He's out of mana on Monkey King. That's a big deal. He has 3 mangoes in the backpack. So when in doubt, just eat some fruit. But he needs to prepare it
What?
first.
That's great advice. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, he's gonna eat it up. Back to Roche.
Oh,
They're
this
gonna
has
get
an
it.
Ags on it as well. Ooh, this is going to be close. This would be a Monkey King Ags, I do believe. He's going to get the cheese and the Aegis. So that's going to keep the Rapier alive. He eats the Aghanim Scepter, which I think I definitely agree with. Actually, let me look at the full list here. So Skyrath Mage is building an Ags, or, oh no, he was. He had that in his queue, but no longer, it seems.
It's the best one in this game, I think. Monkey King. Give it to him for sure. It's good.
Oracles is absolute. Is it still his garbage Purifying Flames one? Or did they
Isn't it?
change
I
it?
think so.
I feel like they changed it. I'm actually almost positive they did. I don't remember what it was.
Oh no, it's Fortune's End.
What
I
does it
haven't
do?
seen this item bought. That's why I didn't even
Increases cast range and stuns for a percentage of the duration.
stuns
Oh,
for
okay,
50% of the time, and then it gets how much more cast range? 800 more. Oh, that's actually quite long range. But yeah,
Okay.
he will not play like that anyway in Oracle. Man, I have not seen Ag spot an Oracle, I think, in 3 years. Literally. I don't think I've ever seen it for 3 years in a single
I mean,
game.
his previous one, his original, was real.
1 second
real
cooldown
bad.
on Purifying Flames, yeah.
Yeah, it was very bad.
It sounded so cool in theory, but then it never really happened the way you wanted it.
Cinder, I think we're going to get to 60 minutes, by the way. We're going to see
It's
these
possible.
items. We're doing it for you. I'm in the game. I can give you all the insight on the best items.
It's really possible right now.
But
Boy, oh boy.
PL is building a divine as well. Doesn't have them. Only has money for the relic at this point.
Yeah.
But Monkey King is strong now. Pog put down his boots, by the way, so is a bit slow. Obviously, he has the tree dance to mitigate that to a degree, but in like fights, he's still going to be pretty slow now.
Yeah. It's the saving grace from Monkey King is obviously he has big reach, right? The Boundless Strike is super long range. The Wukong's Command with level 25 talent has long range too. So he definitely still has good presence in fights without moving too much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, wow. This game is becoming a real thriller, actually, and I'm still considering how well HR played for like a 10-minute span. They really dropped the ball for 2 or 3 minutes. They had multiple avoidable deaths. It was almost like they weren't fully focused on whose job it was to save and where they were relative to each other. When these jumps come in and Prodigy get these kills, and they weren't like insta bursts either. Like,
Yeah.
they were definitely able to react in every instance. The PL dying in the enemy base, they had a couple of seconds to save them. The Timbersaw getting caught outside of the enemy base when they let them go up the hill should not be allowed to happen by a team this good when they're in control and have the area. They should not let them get up there. Just a lack of focus for a few minutes. Dota is a game until, it's a game for the full duration. You can't just relax for 2 minutes against a good team and expect it doesn't matter. You need to be on the ball.
I mean, you
can
can
be
look at it
draining.
both ways, right? HellRaisers obviously dropped the ball a bit because I feel like we talked about the counters that they had in terms of the itemization of all the dispels. And if they just went through the motions and just executed even solidly, they would have won this game already. But at the other side, VPP took advantage of those mistakes. It's not like they were completely handed.
They took risks. And
yeah,
it worked.
exactly. That wraparound was a big risk, but it was rewarded.
I think both
to a high degree.
the Mars pinning the PL in his own base and the wraparound play that they made onto that high ground are low percentage success plays, and both of them carry with them risks. Like Mars blinking out to spear in the PL puts him in a dangerous position where he can get swapped by Venge and die, right? And the high ground move where they go in, if the enemy team is ready and well positioned, they get the jump on you from the high ground, which can be really bad. But imagine if they didn't even try, then the game would be over. They have to try to take these risks. I think that's a really important takeaway from this, where when you're watching these games, maybe the next 4 times Prodigy try to do this high ground move, it fails. And people will be like, man, why did they go for that? It's so stupid they died. But sometimes 20% is your best chance of winning the game, and then you play those 20% rather than just sitting in your base and having 100% loss, right? Mm-hmm. It's like folding your hand, basically. If you just wait in base, you're just folding. You're not ever trying for the little chance you have that you might actually win if everything comes together. So it's very kind of an enlightening situation to see happen, because, most of the times it doesn't go that way. But when it does, feels good for the team that pulls it off.
We need a neutral item update, Cinder. And I love talking about neutral items. It feels like we have never any downtime. So for the Radiant, VPP, they are not using a Witless Shaco and a Timeless Relic. Do you see any opportunity? So the thing I'm interested in,
why is
obviously
Skyrath carrying Havoc Hammer?
Yeah, I was just going to mention. So my theory is Skyrath Mage is just so weak and he's dying so fast. He just wants that 18 strength, and I can understand that.
Well, doesn't he want the Shaco?
Timeless.
Does he not have mana for that? And then he doesn't have mana for the Shaco. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Shaco, obviously the reduction in the mana is pretty huge. I mean, it's 400, but
1,200.
his ult is
so
800 mana.
Yeah. He doesn't have the mana pool. When he gets the Ags, he might switch to Shaco, I think.
Okay, and the Timeless Relic is actually coming to Epileptic Kid, I believe. He's going to replace his Orb of Destruction.
Yeah, I like that.
So, silencing just a little bit longer for people that don't get dispelled. Is it 25%?
Yeah.
Debuff duration? Yeah, that's pretty nice. And Monkey King, of course, still sitting on his Illusion Escape. And on the other side, Cinder, we have to talk about both teams here. Is it the exact same items? Oh no, that thing
They
is
have the
so bugged,
Illusionist
actually.
Cape, right?
Yeah, well, both sides have Illusionist Cape. Both sides have Timeless Relic, and then the difference are Magic Lamp and Leveler.
Right.
The side of HellRaisers.
Yeah. And the Leveler is in PL's backpack for if they're trying to end the game. And look
It
how the
feels like
tables have
that's
turned.
Yeah, it really has. The Leveler, though, it feels like it is a backpack item. No, I almost never see people just equip it fully. It's like, all right, they're dead. I just gotta push fast. Now it's time to put it in my slot.
Yeah.
Of course, the original iteration was a main item for sure. So where does Epileptic Kid go with this build now? He has the sheep stick. He obviously has the attack speed. Will probably get, I assume, get sort of his Midas next or something.
Yeah.
Aghanim Scepter is not a thing anymore. Like the old Aghanims would have been solid. The Slaves through BKB, I believe. Is that the talent now?
Maybe he gets Rapier?
No, it's not even the talent. Yeah, it could.
The game is kind of in that territory now where I wouldn't mind seeing a Rapier and Silencer. I think it's that or Refresher, I think. You're playing
Do you think
playing to
the
win
loss? I mean, you're going to lose a lot of attack speed when you get rid of Midas. You think maybe like
Yeah.
a Moon Shard or something like that instead?
here. I mean, it's
Or
tough
he
to say
could
what their
himself
team
go
is
for a
aiming
Mjolnir,
for. Like,
perhaps?
Monkey King has insane damage, so maybe the control choice is the best with the two globals. I think that
Oh, okay.
has
Refresher.
a lot of value.
Oh, they're smoked up. They're going for it. Mars ult on top of a Nyx assassin who's burrowed.
Oh, Effin
gets
is cut.
swapped out by Mipushka. The baby position 5, and DM has to walk away in shame. BKB Popeye Epileptic, who's in their base. What in the world? He force staffs himself to safety. The time lapse, I believe, saved somebody here. FN, very low on HP, but the save again, this time from Oracle. Keeping him alive for now. Nice Mystic Flare, but after all that, nobody died.
How did Prodigy not lose heroes on that? That was a terrible engage. The Monkey King's tree got cut when Mars blinked in and opened on a Nyx in Burrow. This guy has
Yeah.
like 5,000 EHP, Avenge, and 2 Lotuses behind him. The engage itself is not good. Then Silencer goes in, 4 stabs into or runs into the enemy base, starts hitting people. I think there was an offensive swap ready. Venge could have swapped him to the tier 4s. But really paying attention to saving it only for defensive use here, it looks like. I think that was a missed opportunity from HR. I think VP.Prodigy really slipped up there and could have been punished hard.
I think they were just shocked.
I'm
What's happening?
so surprised. Yeah, I mean, it's sure that it's like the surprise factor. Like, what the hell is happening? Like, you don't.
I mean,
Oh, it's crazy.
As much as that did not work out for VPP, DM just jumping in with his balls hanging out. I love that, man. That makes me so happy to see. He doesn't give a shit. Just go in, hope for the best.
Yeah, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good.
It's the
Oh,
YOLO
they have a ward
right
here.
there.
HR have a good ward.
No, they're gonna
See
go on
everything
top of
that's
the illusion.
happening. Looks
Yes.
like Prodigy aren't finding the. Oh, okay. DM just found it with a Spear Scout. Nicely done. That's a really important ward to get rid
55
of.
minutes, Cinderin.
It could happen.
All right. Do you want to? At what point? Because you know how I get so excited about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
At what point am I allowed to start theorizing about the neutral items that can drop at 60 minutes? You have to limit
59:30.
59, even with this pause.
Okay, you can talk now. Go ahead.
Please. All right. Let's talk about the neutral items that could drop at 60 minutes and what would be best. Apex on Silencer. How good would that be?
It would
Is
be
that-
insane on PL.
Well, yeah, for PL as well. So that was that 75 stats for each
Yeah.
respective hero. Nyx Assassin can get. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't combine his Blink Dagger and Meteor Hammer, but Skyfall or
Fallen
what do they
Sky?
call it? Fallen
Skyfall is a
yes.
James Bond movie.
Yes,
I know that because I watch
really
movies.
like that. How do you know that? That's shocking to me.
I just
actually.
remember. I haven't watched it.
You know what they could get is Force Boots, another dispel for global silence.
Honestly,
That's a
Force
good
Boots on
clean one.
Nyx would be pretty dope this game.
Oh, okay. I just thought of one. The only reason I know this is because we tested it extensively in our mod. Not to bring that up again, but Ballista is so broken on certain heroes, and Silencer would be a great candidate for that. item.
Silencer Ballista is really good for sure.
Yes. Very
Is there
strong.
something that makes Mirror Shield crazy here? You could reflect Swap, and you could reflect
How does Mirror Shield work against
toss.
Lotus Orb, Cinder? Is it an infinite loop by
No.
any chance?
It is not.
I'm kidding. I know.
Yeah.
That was come on. Rhetorical, sarcastic question. You're supposed to laugh and pretend it was funny.
I don't have emotions.
I know. Oh, okay. So this is something else we tested. Do you know, maybe I've narrowed it down enough for you, what, in my opinion, is the most broken tier 5 item? Like the best, if you can get it. I think I've asked you this question before.
What do you think is the single best tier 5 item?
Yes.
You think it's Trident, right?
I do think it's Trident, yes. I didn't think so at first, but when I saw it in action, it is ridiculous. But the problem is you have to build it then, right? That's the issue. You have to have SNY and Kaya, and then you pick up that recipe. And that's why they do that. Because if it just dropped, it would be the most broken tier 5 item. By far. Just trust me on this, Synderen.
All right, I'll trust you. I mean, you're the one with the experience of the tier 5 items. I still haven't been in a game where one
I've
dropped.
played in dozens of games, and you've played in 0 somehow.
I don't trust you. I'm kidding, but maybe
It's
you're
a
right.
real joy. Oh, DM blinks away, farming a camp. Wildwing Ripper just gets ripped apart. Epileptic Kid, in the meantime, does pick up his Refresher Orb, by the way. I don't know if you mentioned that. And in terms of the buybacks, they're all starting to come back on cooldown here, or off cooldown here pretty soon.
This
So
game,
this is probably going to go 60.
The classic thing, like what a lot of people talk about with late game Dota, is the longer the game goes, the more chaotic it is, for a couple of reasons. There's so many things now in this game that are absolutely crazy. Refresher orbs, rapiers, that are hard to, like, just reacting in a human way to all the factors becomes harder. But it's also because the teams just have way less experience, right? Like, how many games do you play nowadays that go this long? In scrims, in pubs, whatever. Like, it's not... It's like a small fraction of your games, probably less than 10% you go for tier 5 items, right? Way less, maybe less than 2% even. So at some point now, it becomes way more about gut feel than overall experience. You kind of just take a chance and have an expectation of how much damage something does or what you can really get away with. And you just have to 100% trust in the calls of your teammates. Stuff gets crazy now. Especially when we get to tier 5 items. But even
This
just
is when
now,
it gets to be the most fun you'll ever have.
there's a rapier on each team. Silencer has refresher. So there's 2 globals. If we get another Roche, there could be 3 globals. And he's playing against all of these saves still. But now it's more... I think VP.Prodigy just... This refresher orb just gives them so many more plays.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now, if HellRaisers gets Roche and they get Ags, who do you give it to? So Nyx already has one, Weaver already has one, so it's the other 3. Other 3 are quite good. You can make an argument even for the position 5 Venge, because then she can... Oh wait, it's the old Ags. I'm thinking of the old Ags. Never mind.
Yeah, the
25
fear
now
is
that
pretty
gives her
nice,
the-
though.
Fear is good, but it's a position 5 Venge. She might not live, right?
Timber's
So I think
decent.
PL's
He doesn't have much damage.
pretty good,
mana.
but
Yeah. I don't know, actually. I think maybe you take
none
the
of them
PL one.
are game-breaking. Yeah, I think PL is the most important here. She's just given that
I
ease of
think so.
access.
Yeah.
All right, only 2 heroes have no buyback right now. It's Monkey King and Silencer. So in theory, if HellRaisers fights right now and wins, they could crush VPP. But Silencer's about to get his right now, and FN is only 1,000 away. Only. It's actually pretty difficult to find farm right now. And we are 1.5 minutes until the 60-minute items.
And just showing.
Ooh. That balance strike actually lagged the server. Very interested to see this Aghanim Scepter and Wukong's command with that crazy cosmetic that's equipped for him.
There's
actually
one
so jealous every
illusionist
time I
Cape
see
Mid
that.
just pushing out a whole wave alone.
Yeah, that's PL, man. It's disgusting. I mean, it's not like the one on Monkey King's bad. It's just, it's not even close
Yeah,
to PL.
it's a little bit of a tier difference there.
All right, we're now at 59 minutes. We're almost
Roche is
there.
up.
The T's. Okay, Roche is up with all 4 items. Remember, guys, if they kill him and he comes back again, he drops 5 Divine Rapiers. Gaben sends you an email, personalized, with a video attachment saying your name. In a very
Congratulations,
sensual
you
way.
failed to end the game.
Yes. 4K net worth lead for VPP. That is how close it is at 59.5 minutes. They're going to go into Roche. And this is going to get scary here. Kaysani working on a sheep stick of his own, but wants to hold on to his buyback. As Roshan is getting very low.
Oh,
they're going
he
to
got
jump
stunned.
in. They're going to stun the Monkey King. Remember, he has the Divine Raper, but no more Aegis. We'll pop the BKB along with the Wukong's command. They're going to delete the PL, who buys back instantly. But that is
Used
one
so
global
much for
silence.
this.
He has he used the refresher. Oh, he used both,
two.
actually.
Yeah, he used
Aegis is coming up. There's a swap. What are you going to take? Snatch the Aegis. The buyback, of course, from the PL. He has come in tow. The Aegis has already been used. We have to keep track of this Aghanim Scepter and Refresher very shortly, but the fight will commence. They need to kill this PL, and they will likely win this game. FN with a huge Boundless Strike deletes the PL again, and that could do it. He rage quits out of the game. We're not going to see 60-minute items. The game is over!
They were tunnel visioning so hard on that Monkey King. They ran past the silencer on the way in there. They got full-on bloodthirsty. They needed to get that big kill and get the rapier out of his hand.